Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Grappler Union podcast. Javier Palomo alongside Anthony Zito. Our guest today is Tommy Cho. Tommy is a brown belt from B1 Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and is the creative visionary behind CJJC Brand. Enjoy.
I hate the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You taught me using any technique that works. Never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
Sorry. All right, we're live, yeah. So we've basically been doing a podcast for the past 15 minutes.
We're wasting valuable
podcast time here. Yeah,
still
absolutely.
complaining about my phone because it's utterly ridiculous. The cameras, I wish they could just come up with the option, like, hey, do you not want cameras? I would be, yes, don't give me
You
any
want
cameras.
a phone with no cameras? You're like the only person in the world that wants a non-camera phone.
I don't need all this. I don't need all this.
You don't need the commando setup.
No,
on
I
the
don't.
back there.
Just give me the regular, small little camera. What am I doing?
I mean, this is the march of technology, constant improvement, man. Isn't that the nature of the business you're in? Even?
I beg to differ. This is not improvement. This is the opposite of improvement.
So what about all the additional options that you have bothers you so much? What is it?
The 3 camera lenses,
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
But
it just looks stupid for one.
Okay, so you don't like the aesthetic. That's first.
And I think that added a lot of weight to this. I think whatever is going
You
on
think
here,
the camera modules added weight?
something added weight.
That
This
seems
thing is
unlikely.
I mean,
heavy.
They are lenses.
Well, yeah, but
There's something in there that's making it
that was-
heavier, significantly heavier than the 7 I had prior to this.
Right, but if that was where all the weight was, it would be top
no, I
heavy on
think
the
they
one end.
distributed it throughout, but there's something weighing this thing.
There's probably a YouTube breakdown of somebody taking it apart. You were going to find out it's like just lead lines the whole way through.
It's heavy. It's
got
a
a good
heavy
heft to it.
phone. It's
But you
very
could beat a
dense.
man to death with it. That's a pro, right?
Certainly could do that.
Yeah, just like the old brick phones back in the day.
Yes, that's for sure. But I don't know. Would you want to?
No. I'd probably beat a man to death trying to take my phone. Like
I don't
that's
know. Beat a man to death. I'd strangle a man. I don't beat him.
if
don't
I
wanna
if
hurt
I have
my
a phone in
hands.
my hand, I just want to be able to, just.
Nah.
Well, that's $1,000 weight to be thrown at.
But a great story. Yeah,
Certainly.
So the guy tried to take my phone, and I beat him to death with it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with just strangling him.
Okay, fine. You and your jiu-jitsus.
Yes.
Speaking of, so something happened just yesterday. We're recording this podcast. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, shout out to Paul Maloney. Congratulations to him.
Yes.
Bunch of other guys. So we just had the
Belt promotion.
belt promotion.
Yeah, at Manecos. Yeah, Paul Maloney got his black
Professor.
belt.
Professor Maloney.
Maloney.
Professor Paul. Professor Maloney. What
I
does
don't
he
know.
want?
We're gonna have to talk about it. We were at dinner yesterday actually, and I didn't ask him if I should now
Call him professor.
professor.
Is he teaching classes?
He certainly is not teaching
well.
classes. So he's just black belt Paul.
yeah. Hey, guy.
Right. But
That's great,
it was
though.
great. Another teammate of ours, Andrew, and then
Tyler.
a family of black belts now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Andre's been teaching Freddie and his wife and son since white belt, and now promoted his wife and his son to black belt.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So the whole family is like 3 black belts.
That's crazy.
Family goals,
That's awesome,
my man.
but
Family
incredible.
goals.
Yeah, definitely
Incredible.
goals, right? Yeah.
That was definitely that teared up a lot of people when he was talking about it yesterday. And
Is she Andre's first female black belt then?
no.
Okay.
Oh, good question.
I know. I mean, I've seen
Actually,
the
that's a
pictures. I know
very
he
good
has.
question.
I know he has several brown belt females, but I don't. I
It
can't
might
name.
be.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think you might be right.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that.
You should definitely look into that. Listen,
Sandy, I should ask her. And
like we were talking, America doesn't have that many female black belts to begin with. Chicago definitely doesn't have that many female black belts, and generally speaking,
She might be.
Yeah,
he didn't mention that at all, and I thought that would probably be part of his speech that this was. But I know he was more focused on the family, and so it's Tyler, Sandy, and her husband,
right.
Freddie. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Wow. So they've all been training 11 years or so now, or is that just how much Tyler's been training?
11 years they've been.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, I saw pictures of Tyler that he posted, like him and Mineko together as green belt.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's so,
Side by sides.
That's beautiful. Like that's being able to
Incredible.
go all that time. And
Incredible. Yeah. Family right there. Whew. It's pretty cool.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
We'll have to get them in.
Yeah, right? For sure.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, Tyler. Not that I don't want you in on the podcast or anything, but bring your whole family. This is a cool story, bro.
Right.
Yeah, New Breed had their belt
Yeah, I
ceremony
saw it.
yesterday too. So
So
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like congratulations to everyone who got promoted and everything. But at the same time, if I had known so many guys were coming in, I would have hit a couple of them up and be like, hey, before you leave town, go all the way back to Iowa. Well, let's get you in the studio.
yeah.
So yeah, I would have tried to get him in like last night or something. But
Yeah.
tis the season apparently. So
Chicago's getting some more black belts. It's pretty cool.
Luis just promoted. One of the guys had to take the. We're doing next weekend while I'm out of town. Thank you. While I'm out of town, they're doing the belt promotion.
Why did you say thank you?
Because I don't want to have to sit through the test. I'm not testing.
Oh, you're not testing?
Yeah.
Does he tell you who's testing?
Yes.
He tells you who's
Yeah.
going to test
Yeah,
for what?
you have plenty of time to prepare
Okay, I
and
see.
whatnot. But yeah, so one of our guys couldn't make it, so he tested early. Just got his brown belt. Fantastic. Next week, gonna have a whole wave of them. New Breed just had. I mean, my God, the picture that Vivez posted up. How many people did you guys have on the mat? So
I wasn't there.
How many?
But that seemed like crowded room. So
it had to be over 50 people.
yeah.
Well over.
Just want to say a shout out one of my friends, Jeremy Lin, new black belt. Congratulations.
And where's he? He's at.
He's at New Breed.
Okay. Yeah. Jim Fritz got promoted to black belt. I saw.
Very cool.
So yeah, like
Didn't Gabe too?
man, I didn't get to see everyone, but
I don't know the whole team there, but
Okay.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
that's great. It's good news.
I thought I saw Gabe got promoted.
Like I said, 'tis the season apparently.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
But before we go any further, I just want to say I am very happy to be on this podcast. I've been a long time fan. So I've
Long time listener?
Long time listener. First time shower.
Glad to have you on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No, for sure. Actually, you got your brown belt not that long ago, right?
Yep. Just last month.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Okay, there we go.
Something like that.
That's what really happened. I'm like, he's not a purple belt anymore. I guess.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No, it's still surreal, honestly. I look down, I'm like, oh, that's a brown belt. That's weird.
It's so weird.
Isn't it?
I mean, I have not officially, trained with it yet.
Oh,
obviously.
right, because you guys did the open that before.
Right, exactly.
That's nonsense. You
Right.
promote, then
And then do the
break it
open-
in right away,
right
so
away.
people can be like, oh, you're a brown belt now. I don't have to go easy on you no more.
Oh, people are definitely letting me know.
Oh, yeah? Is that it?
You'll feel it.
Oh yeah. People be hunting you. Then, all the blue belts get super hungry now.
Do they?
Yes.
100%.
really?
Your ankles and
Yeah.
your toe holes are going to be there. And
I know. I'm excited to start. I can just
Do
lay
whatever you
on
want.
people. Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
You've
It's gonna be.
You've been gifted with freedom, sir.
I know.
Yes.
No heel hooks in a gi yet. So
Right.
not at Mineko's anyway.
Right. Well,
But-
stop by Barry's place anytime.
There you go. Right. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to start. Opening up my game even more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun.
it's crazy, right? It's like new rules.
Yeah.
It's like, I can do that now? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually I know I've brought this up before, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but that really does confuse me that the rules are so the same for so much of your career, and then they change suddenly at brown belt.
Yeah.
Then they're just the same from brown belt on. It's just a weird changeover in my head. I feel like there should be more differences. More things should be added incrementally. I definitely want heel hooks at black belt and things like that.
Yeah.
But
You want heel hooks in a gi?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
I'm just wondering. Reaping heel hooks.
I would like as much stuff as possible in the black belt division, gi or no gi.
Yeah.
If for some reason we're afraid that limbs will spontaneously combust because reaping and heel hooks in the gi, I suppose I might be okay with them being like, okay, only a no gi, because that would benefit. That would benefit guys that are crossing over into other styles of competition. I know the IBJJF doesn't necessarily care about that per se,
Right.
But if you're going to be going to Abu Dhabi, if you're going to be competing in any other submission only format, or even transitioning to the UFC, heel hooks are suddenly a threat that you need to be aware of in no-gi in almost every other tournament format except the IBJJF.
True.
So. Yeah, I've never talked to a black belt who is familiar with heel hooks, mind you. That's like, oh yeah, no, they're terrifying, and I would never want to do them in the gi. They're all like, no, I'm a black belt. I know how to handle this, but even so, most of them are like, yeah, for sure in no-gi. I've got blue belts that have been doing heel hooks in no-gi,
Right.
in Naga for 20 years, Right. So yeah, I've never understood that.
How long have you been brown belt, Javi?
2 years, 3 years now?
Yeah.
3, yeah. About 3. So, getting on up there.
Yeah.
Belt's looking increasingly haggard. Might have to replace it.
Yeah.
But,
Sometimes
yeah.
I feel like that's when I want to hold on to it the most. It's like,
Right.
I'm not ready.
I know.
So at purple belt, when I started competing, my purple belt honestly wasn't that worn in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't do that much gi jiu-jitsu, so it wasn't that broken in. But the first time I went to a comp, the guys were like, "Yeah, that belt's too ratty. You need to get a new one." I'm like,
Really?
"For reals?" Yeah, and it's not like one where it's like the color has faded and it's
Yeah,
falling
yeah.
apart and it looks like a white belt
Yeah.
again or anything like that. No, it's just like there's a little bit of fraying at the edges and a little bit of bad stitching, from some years of abuse.
Yeah.
Because I had that belt. I had my purple belt for I think 5 years, but most of those years I was doing, not strictly, but the majority of my work was no gi. So it didn't get beat up like a 5-year
Yeah.
belt where you're doing gi day in and day out. So yeah, I went to compete in it and they're like, no, son. I'm like, come on. So I had to run and go get a brand new belt. Bought this brand new belt. I think I got it from Nick Mitria, but I don't want to say that for sure. Regardless, I got this brand new belt, put it on, haven't worn it since. Yeah, it's just sitting on a shelf, just like
It's for show.
Yeah. It's memories, I guess.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking like what to do with the old belts, like I did with my first gi.
You do a belt display?
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to think of something a little more creative than just like
Oh,
stacking
like
them up.
snow angels? I mean, like what?
I don't know.
I want to do something creative, but I don't actually have any ideas.
No ideas yet.
Yeah,
I'm still
listeners,
coming
write
on.
into Zito. Give him your best advice. Post it to the internet where he'll never see it.
Right. Yes. Definitely
Actually,
don't do that.
just tell me, and if I hear a good idea, I'll pass it on and take all the credit.
There you go.
One thing I do want to say, I share your admiration of geese.
Oh, you
Okay.
did?
The great love. That's appropriate because you've got.
Well, right. No, but I mean, I hear you guys talking about it all the time, and I'm kind of a gi nerd myself.
Yeah.
So
Do you spell it like? Are you a geek but G-I-E-K? Is that what the term is?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. It's probably brandable.
Yeah, can I write
Bruno,
that down?
edit that out.
Can I use that?
100% you can use that. I don't even know if it's a good idea. But
But what do you wear nowadays?
Everything.
I mix it up now.
Yeah.
I still wear Very Hard to Submit.
Yeah.
Those are really nice gis. But I also have a...
Bruno, edit that out as well. They're no longer a sponsor.
It's totally fine. They still their rash
still
guards,
like their gi, I know. I'm
Their
just
rash
teasing.
guards are phenomenal. I really love. This is the only rash guard I'll wear now. Is the
Really?
Very Hard to Submit one? Yeah, it just fits very well, and it's. I mean, you can't even get them. So if someone wanted to go to they're always sold out. I was actually telling a teammate of mine. They're like, "Oh, do you really like these rash guards?" I'm like, "These are my favorite." He's like, "Okay, sweet." He comes the next day and goes, "Dude, you can't even buy them." I go, "I know, man. They're sold out." I go, "You have to follow them on Instagram, and then when they do this," I go, "It's a whole thing. You know, you got to work to get it."
That's the thing that amuses me the most, how much you hate the internet and social media and whatnot, and yet you're on this company's nuts all the time where you got to basically follow them on Instagram, watch their posts. We're doing a drop of 10 gis or 100, whatever the heck.
It's definitely an experience.
Right. Yeah, you got to be
You
all
gotta be
in.
there at 11:59.
You got
right,
it.
and you got the website up. You have to have your login in, credit card ready.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And,
Refresh.
you cannot leave it in the shopping cart, as you
Cannot
learned.
leave in the shopping cart. I learned that.
Will not work.
Yep, doesn't work.
See, I'm used to that with other things in life, like odd collectibles or like. I like knives. I'm not like a knife collector where it's like, I'm going to spend $3,000 in knives this weekend. Not that guy. But I am adjacent to that community constantly, and like guys will do like a limited run. Like we're only gonna make like 100 of these. They're all numbered. You get a little card that's signed by and it's like, that's like a $50 knife that's now worth like $900 because of rarity.
That's such a deal.
Yeah, it's amazing. I need one. But yeah, like I just can't even freaking imagine it with gis.
I'm a self-proclaimed hype beast, so I stay on the websites for shoes too.
Oh, you're sneakerhead?
do you?
Yeah, unfortunately. But
Dude, I'm only gonna wear these shoes. These new ones I have. These are also Vivo Barefoot.
Yeah. I
These are
recognize the pattern on the bottom.
Winter boots. So They're the best shoes. I really can't even put my feet in anything other than these.
Oh wow, they really own your brand.
They
You're like,
do.
This is
They
my
own
brand
me.
now,
This
right?
is- It's just because it just makes so. I'm never tired of. I just. It just
Nev-
feels never tired of.
Your
being
feet
on
are
my
never
feet.
tired. Just
Never.
like
never tired, and they're like there's no no padding. It's like
also
I'm
not
walking,
sponsored the podcast,
it's like
but you don't mind.
right. It's like I'm walking literally on the ground, but it doesn't bother me. It
We're all
feels
walking
good.
on the ground,
No,
Zito.
but I mean like without cushion. Like there's no cushion. There's
It's
no
like those
padding in
feet
these.
shoes with the toes.
Similar, right?
So it's
yeah.
real thin sole.
Very very thin.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, honestly, looking at them, they don't look like the Vibrams or whatnot, where they're super thin like that.
Yeah,
but
these are a little more bulky because they're for winter,
Right.
But they're still the same. It's just warmer. These are like hiking boots.
warmer and presumably waterproof.
Yes, they are.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
So, I mean, you find what you like and you kind of stick with it. That's what I do anyway.
Right.
You know.
I, on the other hand, am just like, well, I don't like shopping for shoes, so we'll just grab this one. Oh God, thank you, it fits. I'll wear it until it's trash, and then I'll get another pair that hopefully fits.
Yeah.
I think the same goes for gis too. You know, you find something that you like, you find the size that fits, and you just kind of stick with it.
Yeah, that's a real key there.
But the problem is when you find a gi you like, and then you buy another one, and they change the freaking style.
The cut.
Yeah,
Yes.
the cut. You're like, what the heck did you do? Like
Yeah.
I've done that with Albino and Prado. I'm like, this one fits great, and I bought a second one. I'm like, oh, you
Yeah,
guys.
and the one in Brazil's made like 3 times smaller or something.
I mean, they do that often with these gis. I don't know why they like the Hadra Gracie gi I bought.
That sounds expensive.
I thought this was like gonna fit like a similar cut, and it's like a 500-pound gi.
Which
It's like-
brand was that?
What's that?
Which brand is that?
It's Show Your World.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Hadra Gracie one. And
Double weave or
It's I don't know what. Dude,
Quintuple weave.
It's like rolling with a weighted vest on.
I mean, that's good for durability at
It's
least.
certainly great, but I wasn't expecting that. You
Yeah.
know, so I don't wear it as often, but I'll wear it at just to open mats basically. But to train with it would be. I don't know.
Does it have like super thick collars that are impossible to grip
Just
for choking?
it's just really heavy. It's a
Well,
very heavy gi.
Speaking from experience, you have to use different manufacturers sometimes, and that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because like if you have to go to a different factory, and I always try to get samples and try and like adjust for size issues because there's always going to be size issues, right?
Right.
So you just kind of have to try it out and do a run, and then sometimes it doesn't work out, and I just got to give everything away for free. Kind of
Really?
sucks, yeah, because the consistency is not there.
How do you stop that from happening?
You
Do everything
know,
in house.
Yeah, eventually,
Right.
if you can do that. But if you can try and get Pakistan prices in the
Right.
U.S.,
Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't
I mean,
make sense.
that's ideally that's the way to control that.
Right.
And I think a lot of the gi companies are starting to try to do that, but then that jacks up the prices for everything else. So if you want that quality, you kind of have to pay for it. So,
Right. Yeah. Origin is all made in
Exactly.
the USA. So
And their gis are very expensive.
yeah.
yes, but also very nice. So
Right.
take it. So
Exactly.
actually, let's jump right in. Normally, our first real question to the guest is like, "Hey, how'd you get into jiu-jitsu?" But how did you get into the gi market? Like how did that happen?
Well, that all kind of ties together. I'm
Oh.
embarrassed to say this. First of all, I got into jiu-jitsu by gis.
Really?
Buy gis?
Well, not by gis, but seeing like the first cool gi ever.
Okay.
So-
what
which
was
was
it?
what
Let's
let,
hear
let
it.
me go back.
Okay, let's
let me
go.
go back. So I've
Look at
been
him. He's so excited.
I know. I'm excited.
so I got into martial arts, at a very young age. I started taekwondo,
Okay.
and then as I was growing up, I kind of got kind of curious, and I tried different things, and aikido and Ishinryu karate. I think someone said that they've done that.
I did a little
before.
aikido. Yeah.
Yeah, aikido, and then 1994, the UFC started. We see this guy in a white gi just smash everybody, and I think at that time I wasn't really a believer, so I'm like, what is this? Like, no, this big guy should just totally destroy him, And I think at the time I was rooting for the karate guy. I don't remember; it was so long ago, but my whole purpose is I always had an interest. I was like, oh, what's this jiu-jitsu? What are these guys doing? And back then, jiu-jitsu was just Japanese jiu-jitsu, right?
Right, for sure.
I mean, there was no, you never saw anything ground oriented other than maybe Hapkido and a little bit of judo or whatever. But
It's so hard for me to explain to people that didn't grow up in that era. You know, that don't remember it. That like when you said jiu-jitsu back in the day, that
I thought ninjutsu. I mean, like
Or- yeah,
jiu-jitsu
yeah.
was
Yeah.
ninjutsu. Like you walk around with a mask on your face. What do you
I mean, that's cool.
right? But yeah, so I mean, you know, and I've always had an interest, and I try it every once in a while, and I knew about it is basically what I was trying to say. And one day, I'm on the internet and I see this brand that I used to follow called Illust, and they did a collaboration gi with this company called Show Your Roll. What is that?
Right, this unknown company at the
Unknown
time.
company,
yeah.
knew nothing about it, but just seeing that they created this gi with another company, it threw me off. Like, holy shit, is this stuff mainstream now? You know, and I mean, I was always interested in doing jiu-jitsu and just, you know, always wanted to actually try it and be successful in it or whatever you want to call it. But it was that point, it was like, wow, this is a thing, you know? And then, I mean, I didn't start training jiu-jitsu right away after that, but then like, I think I came across that gi on eBay for like $1,000 and I could not believe it. I'm like, what? A ski costs $1,000 now? I could have bought 2 of these. But I mean, that kind of sparked the interest, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. So I walked into, you know, I think Carlson Gracie at the time in Aurora, and I took my first class, and I've been hooked ever since, you know?
That is unique, actually. Like most people,
Right.
Yeah,
and
like,
weird and kind of embarrassing to say. But
I don't think that's embarrassing at all. It's kind of interesting, actually, because most people come to this and they're like, yeah, you know, like older generation, you know, they're like, yeah, I saw Hoist in the UFC, or, you know, I heard Eddie Bravo on the Joe Rogan podcast. Like, there's all these different ways that people get led to it.
And now it all started with a piece of clothing for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's actually pretty unique. I don't know that I've ever talked to anyone else who's.
Are you guys familiar with that gi? Have you even seen it?
Illust,
Yeah, it's like
for sure.
It's like the gi.
Yeah.
You know, back then.
I mean, Gi Hoarder has a lot of those skis on their
Really?
website. Yeah.
Yeah.
For ridiculous, I had to talk myself out of buying a ridiculously expensive gi
Yeah.
that I'm glad it did not buy. But
I went down that whole rabbit hole too. I mean, I
you
had
got a
like,
closet full of
I had
shoulder
like
rolls?
10 shoulder rolls, you know.
I stopped buying shoulder roll because the last one I bought
Didn't fit right.
fit the same. I'm like, this is a waste of. If I don't feel good in the gi, like ill fitting, you don't want to wear it. And
Oh,
it's
my
like,
first
what
5
the
shoulder
heck?
rolls, I had to either sell or, you know, exchange or something because
Right.
I couldn't find. I was like, I think it went
Couldn't
from
find
an
what size,
A2.
perfect.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, this tatami fits me like it's supposed to fit, you know, this A2, and then I get this shoulder roll that A2 fits like incredibly big.
Right.
So then
So
I'm like, oh, let me try an A1. Oh, that's I don't like it here, and then
Well,
Yeah.
I've got an A0 Ruka, the white Ruka
Yeah.
one. That short, it's beautiful. Fits awesome.
oh, I got that too.
Yeah.
I got both the old one, like
Do you?
season 1, season 2. Okay, yeah, it's very embarrassing.
And then I bought then their comp standard. I'm like, oh, it'll fit me the same. Like, hopefully, and it didn't. It fit. It was bigger.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I'm like, I'm out. Done.
Done.
Done with show your roll.
This is how you give up on gi companies. Like you order one that doesn't fit right, and you're like, done.
Pretty
Cut
much.
the tie.
I think the
Nice.
consistency is very important.
It's got to be
Yeah.
just I same way with a restaurant. If I go to a restaurant and I order the same thing all the time, and you serve me something that tastes completely like garbage, I'm done. That means that you don't care. So why am I going to care?
right.
So I'm out.
And that's what kind of prompted me to start my own company because
So you could-
I was tired of like having to get an A1 here, A1 long here, A2
yeah.
here.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make my own damn gi.
And what is the name of that company?
CJJC.
There we go. Finally got it out there.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part.
No problem.
Yeah, it stands for my last name, Cho Jiu Jitsu Company. So very original, I guess.
Right. I think actually we may have misspoken on the podcast before because I thought it stood for Chicago Jiu Jitsu Company.
So yeah, so that drop was kind of like a double entendre kind of a
Okay,
thing.
Yeah.
But I think
It's
people
Chicago Jiu Jitsu Club, right?
Chicago Jiu-Jitsu Club was kind of that drop that I did. So
So like-
for with every drop, I kind of have like a little purpose with it, you know.
Okay.
I try to design something that I would wear and put it out there and see if anyone else liked it. So my whole purpose for that drop was just kind of to unite Chicago. Well, the whole purpose of my brand is to try to unite the city of Chicago or the Midwest and try and like bring us all together and say, hey, this is who we are. This is what we represent. I think, because I think there's like a lot of great jiu-jitsu in Chicago, not just California, not just New York. We got a lot of great representatives of our sport here. Mark Vives, he's always promoting Chicago Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a big fan of that. And I just try to do that with my brand.
Yeah. Paul Maloney told me last night when I told him you were coming in, he goes, damn. He goes, that shirt, the shirt you sent us, he goes, my favorite shirt. He goes, it fits me the best.
And that was that shirt. That was my point.
It's my favorite shirt. He goes, tell him I want some swag. I'm sorry, bro. You're not part of the podcast anymore, man. Get the fuck out of here. That hoodie, I love that hoodie.
Yeah.
I wear it all the time, man.
I know, I see it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
And you guys have been great promoting it, or at least wearing it.
Right.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, the material, do you guys know where I got the idea for that?
No, lay it on us.
The IBJJF t-shirts.
Nice.
Okay.
Those are like, when I first got my first IBJJF tournament t-shirt, I wore that thing like all the time.
Until it wore out.
Exactly.
They're nice.
They're super soft, and I love the way they fit. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a shirt with that, so I figured if I liked it, someone else might like it too.
Right. No, that's and at the very least, if nobody likes it, at least you still got what you wanted, right?
Exactly.
So.
But if nothing else, like even if they don't like the way it's designed, at least it feels good, and they'll wear it all the time.
Yeah, no, like there have been shirts that I have, and mind you, like a huge number of my T-shirts are not jiu-jitsu shirts. They're like superheroes and cartoons and stuff like that. That's just me.
He's 40.
And I'm 42, bro.
Oh, sorry, 42. Why do I keep thinking you're 40?
I don't know.
So
I don't. It's flattering,
It's
I guess.
great.
We're the over 40 club here, aren't we?
Yeah. So it seems.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Had me fooled.
Yeah, I would never
got a
guess
guest off
that.
mic here.
Would
That's
never guess that.
yeah. No, what a.
It's awesome.
But
Robbing the cradle.
yeah, definitely. I'll always claim that no matter what. It's safer that way. But yeah, no, like, and I'll get like this design that I'm like, oh, this is amazing, and then I'll put on the shirt, and I'm like, this shirt is so uncomfortable, and now I'm just gonna consign it to the bin. I'm gonna never wear it. So yeah, like. I really appreciate when the clothes are comfortable first and foremost. That's my number one concern. And then if they also look awesome, that's bonus points. That's the cherry on top. Agreed. So, yeah.
I've gone as far as having my T-shirts tailored.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah.
Wait. What do you mean tailored? like they're
take it in over
you?
here, or
Yeah, the whole thing.
That's not a T-shirt anymore. Stop.
I do. I've got. Probably like more than.
Is this for like a business shirt
half dozen.
type T, or like advertising something,
like a
or
T-shirt
just like a
that.
straight up normal T-shirt
Straight
you're
up
gonna
normal
lounge
T-shirt.
around the house in on a Sunday or something like that?
Okay, I don't lounge around the house in T-shirts on Sundays.
Okay.
he wears suits.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
No, but regular T-shirts. So I've done it to more than half a dozen shirts. I've had tailored.
Sounds slightly
Very interesting.
I have to have it fitted. Actually, the Chicago Jiu-Jitsu one was a little long on me, so yours I have to have tailored. Yes.
laying down the smack.
Everything else fits fine. It's just a little long.
Yeah.
And I just want them up like a little bit. But I gotta be dialed in when I wear stuff.
So
I can kind of get on
you do
that,
like
though.
aftermarket modifications at like a seamstress tailor type place?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. So you're not actually going to like a T-shirt shop and being like, hey, I'd like the T-shirt over there,
No,
the color in bin number 42.
might be onto
but I
something,
want
dude.
you to.
I take it to a tailor, and then I have that tailor measure me, and I say, okay, take this in the back here, take it in the side, take the arm in a little bit. And
Does he look
they
at you
do it.
like you've got 3 heads, or is he like this is normal?
No, because I have money.
Well,
And I paid the
granted.
guy
I
to do
wanted
his
to give
job.
it to you.
That's it. I'm trying to give you money. He's like, okay, whatever you
listen,
want.
the little Polish lady that patches up and repairs my gis always looks at me like just a little bit odd when I bring in those things. So I assume if I brought a T-shirt and was like, hey, I need you to take this in 1/2 inch over here and whatnot, she'd definitely look at me like I had 3 heads.
Yeah, no. I mean, the person that's been doing it for me for a
He's
while.
used to you?
She's used to me.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you something. She's here, and she's pitched this idea to me numerous times. What is your thoughts on having a tailor-made gi? Something made for you. If you're willing to do that for a T-shirt.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
100% Zito will do it. Okay.
100%.
Now here's the thing. I would probably do that for a competition gi because unless I'm being a moron, mind you, I can take that gi and only wear it for comp. You know, I can guarantee that it's IBJJF legal. It fits perfectly.
Weddings.
You know, yes,
Birthday
weddings
parties.
and comps.
Bar mitzvahs.
At that point, I wouldn't wear it for like a day-to-day training gi if I was going to do that. As is, I have a gi that I've set aside that I pretty much compete in.
If you could make a gi like you can design a car, I would be 100% on board. Where I can pick out
with stereo
the weave
speakers
pattern, I can pick out the inlet, everything. Oh, 100% I'd be in on that. Everything I can do, because there's some gi pants that I don't like the pants, but I like the top.
Yeah.
You know,
I think everybody's got gis like that.
Exactly. I'm like, man, I wish they would just give me these pants all the time, and then I'd be happy.
Right.
But it doesn't work that way.
You know what I hate? And Inverted Gear kind of had a solution to this that sort of worked, is they would sell just gi pants in various colors, but they never perfectly, because like the black ones had like a black drawstring, and I jacked up my black and electric blue pants. So like, you know, there's only so many times that you can get it fixed before it's just like, okay, this is a losing battle. Let me get new pants. So I wish that more companies, and I know they're you know sold made as a set, but I wish more companies stocked replacement pants, because the gis, relatively speaking, the gi rips on me every once in a while, you know, a couple of years of using it. But the pants, especially at the knees, pants tear through at the knees pretty easily. And it's like, I can't get something that perfectly matches. I can get close, but I can never get the exact thing. So I wish that was a thing also, too.
I mean, Atama, one of my teammates and like student, I guess you can say.
In that complicated zone now, right?
So weird. Well, he bought me a gi as a you know, getting my brown belt and then also being his instructor. So the thing is that the Tom McGee's A1 top fits me, A0 pants fit me.
Right.
So I'm like, thank you. Now I'm like, what am I gonna do? You gotta
power shrink that.
Tailored.
I gotta get them tailored. Exactly. I get the
Yeah.
A1 pants tailored up, like done up like really nice. It's just weird, you know.
Everyone's built kind of different, so it's like,
for sure.
That's why if you could do a custom gi where you can actually do it, like pick out this different, kind of like what Combat Corner does with their rash guards, how you can do the inlays and all that stuff, because it's kind of nice, you know. Or you just make it all, you know, Rolls Royce, you know, where you go.
Not all of us have Rolls Royce money. Just,
I'm not saying, but that's not the demographic who's going to be tailoring their gis.
Exactly.
The demographic that's tailoring their gis are going to be those type. They're going to be willing to pay for it, 100%. And there's a lot of people. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people out there that do crazy things, and I'm one of them for sure.
Right at one of them.
I know, but I'm okay with that. You know, this is my thing. You know,
right? No, like I said, I would probably okay. I've never had it, so I can't say for sure. But I probably not ever plan on tailoring all my gis, but I would for sure tailor a gi, like you said, for competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, that again, weddings, bar mitzvahs.
And weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Because going into a competition, you know, as stressful as that is, the last thing you want to think about is like, oh, is my gi going to pass inspection?
No, that's why I have one set aside, because I know it always passes.
Is it all the stuff you get to worry about? If you can have a custom gi, like Javi said, like this is my gi for comp, and you walk in, it fits you like a glove, you're going to feel so good going to that competition.
Until they change the rules, and then you're like, shit, now I need another custom gi.
Exactly. And that's why this guy works with that to make that happen. It's all conspiracies.
Yeah.
I just wear my shortest one there. They can't get grips up to my forearm.
That's it. But that's awesome. So your gis are available now?
They are, yeah. We, I'm doing short, like really small drops right now, and just kind of testing it out. I'm still testing manufacturers too.
Finding the perfect one, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long process. I've been trying to, I think I've been trying for the last 2 years to try actually perfect it, but it's had its challenges, you know. And I've talked to my girlfriend about this, and she hears all my nagging, and she's like, "Well, why don't you just get them tailor made?" I'm like, no one wants to do that. No one's going to pay for
she's
that.
definitely onto something.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
But
she's way smarter than me, so.
Well, that's always a good thing. So, somebody has to be the smart one. I'd rather it be her than me, you know? But yeah, like, the only thing is, like, obviously, you're not going to move the volume, so I totally don't know. Right. I'm not sure what that correct price point is then, you know, in terms of how much more you have to charge for the gi, for the time you're going to put into it to make it worth your while, where it's a profitable business.
I don't know. So I don't know. I'm different. I'm different on this. So I look at it, and I don't know how you look at it, but for me, if I was going to do something like that, like create clothing, it's more of an art. It's an expression of your art. So his expression of his art is his brand, right?
Sure.
You don't really look at it like as a numbers thing, like, oh, what's my return on that thing? Because you're creating art. When someone creates a painting or something like that,
when he's bankrupt, he'll have that. It's like, Zito convinced me to do this because it's my art, and he said he'd buy one, and I massively underpriced it, and now I have no home. Thank you, Zito.
I sold one.
You ever heard of starving artist? It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Starving artist is a real thing.
She's like, shut up, Zito, shut up. Never mind, it's a bad idea.
No, but honestly,
you know what I'm saying, right? So
I think you're both right.
Once you do that and you create that, and that's why, very hard to submit. I hate to keep bringing them up. However,
you can't hate it that much.
They do things really well. Everything is packaged. I mean, the packaging.
Yeah,
the guy
I know you love the unboxing experience.
It's incredible. It takes a lot of time.
It's important.
I so appreciate that so much. Just like the people who buy Apple appreciate the packaging for Apple is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. It's a waste of everything.
Valuable resources,
but it is
destroying our world.
Nice and so neat that you're like, I'm going to pay $1,000 for that because I know it's going to be that nice.
You remember the packaging when they used to, at the beginning, they used to pull out the phones and they would fall, and everyone were dropping and breaking their phones.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta eliminate that with.
Yeah, but no, I totally agree with you. I mean, the whole reason for my brand is kind of just to express express myself, basically,
Right.
all the way down to my designs, to the feel of the material, to the way the gis fit, and sometimes it's to a fault where I don't end up producing anything because everything that I'm making, I don't like, or the material's not right, or maybe the design doesn't fit,
right,
the t-shirt properly or whatever it might be. But I mean, I think you're both right. I mean, you got to be able to sell it at the end of the day, but at the same time, it's like, if I have to have it this way and it's going to cost me this much, am I willing to do it? And most of the time it's but you do have to think about that because,
right.
It is a business, right? But
I deal with a lot of customers. I have a lot of clients that are restaurants, and you've got your restaurant owners that aren't chefs, and they're not creating the recipes or doing anything like that, and they're just opening up and they're like, hey, I'm going to sell you a hot dog. You're going to buy that hot dog. And I have restaurants that open up that are chefs, like culinary chefs, and they're like, no, it's not how we do. I'm going to create an experience for you when you come to my restaurant, and you're going to pay for that experience. Whereas the other restaurants, like, I don't care what they eat. They're going to eat it. They're going to eat it. Right. Those are the two, and you got to kind of find out where you are in that spectrum, right? Yeah. You don't want to be all the way over here because you still obviously have to appeal to a larger volume of people to create a profit and this and that. But you don't want to be the guy who doesn't seem like he cares about anything. So you kind of got to.
I lean more towards you. I take my time with whatever I create, and maybe to a fault. Maybe I take too long, and I spend too much time on it, or I invest too much in it, and then at the end of the day, I'm making $2 on it. I'm like, was that a good idea? But
the answer there is probably no.
But I mean, as a creative outlet, like you're saying, I mean, if I do everything the way I want to, and I think that's when a team really comes in play. You got to have a good team that kind of thinks about that portion of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, you got to have somebody to crunch the numbers. You got to have somebody to hype it up in the marketing. You got to have somebody to has that creative vision.
Yeah. I just want to draw shit.
Right.
I just want to make shit look cool.
Right.
But yeah.
It's fascinating, and just the fact that people can buy into brands and
it's powerful.
Artists and they stay with that artist, they stay with those brands, and as long as that brand is doing the right thing, it's like Art of Jiu Jitsu, I mean, those guys over there are
down to their gym and
Art of Jiu Jitsu, who you stopped following.
I stopped following. I just don't want to see their family stuff. I'm not into that. It's fine, whatever, but it's just they do everything right.
Yeah.
They do everything right. And it's not that someone can't do it. It's just, I don't know. I just don't understand why I look at it.
It's thoughtful, right? It's everything they do is very thoughtful, down to the mats that they choose, whatever, even down to the no-gi, you know, like whatever they design. It's like, it's very thoughtful.
Yeah.
And a lot of people appreciate that. I appreciate it.
I do as well. They just did another release for some collaboration with some artist. I didn't really care for the design personally, but I still appreciated the fact that they were collaborating with
it's
this
cool.
person. It's
Yeah.
still it's clever. It's good. Everything about it is good.
And nowadays, people are really cognizant about what they buy, right? Like it's got to talk to them. It's
Right.
got to mean something to them.
Right.
Whether, you know, famous skateboarder's wearing it
Yep.
or like a famous, you know, MMA fighter's wearing it or whatever. It's like, oh, I can get behind that, you know.
Right.
And people, they do their own research and they look into it and they're like, oh wow, they do all these other things, and like, you don't know that. And that's the kind of cool thing about brands, you know. You just, the more you dig deep into it, and you know, you'll know right away if, you know, if they're just trying to just make clever t-shirts just to make money, or if it's like a way of expression and their way of, like, you know, telling their story.
Right.
So,
Like Shinola, the watch brand.
yes,
That's an awesome story.
amazing.
You know,
Yeah,
I bought a
Detroit,
few of their
right?
watches. Yep, Detroit company. You know, trying to bring back the community. And then, you know, I bought a few of their watch. I don't wear them anymore because I just wear this watch. But
It's an Apple Watch that you wear now. Yeah.
it's functional. Now I'm all about, like, I just need this because
it does the thing.
it does the thing.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else. But at the time, I did buy their watch. I thought their backstory was great. The packaging was amazing. Everything was just spot on, great. And I was in my, I was at my grandfather's house, and I was in the basement, like going through some tools or whatever. And I see this can like with a bunch of other stuff. I look at it, it says Shinola on it.
No way.
I'm like, Shinola. So it used to be for your shoes, like a polish.
So I know this. That's why I kind of gave you a weird look when you brought it up.
Because the watch company, and now it used to be.
No, I don't know it from the watch
Right,
company.
you don't
I
know
only
it
know
that
it
way.
from the shoe polish,
Shoe polish, right.
company because of an expression that, like an old expression that my family still uses to
really?
this day. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was a shoe
You
polish.
see how deep that is? And when
Yeah.
you find that, I'm like, holy that crap, that's cool. I'm gonna go get me a Shinola watch.
Exactly.
You know?
It's so clever.
I'm over here. I'm like, they both know about this. I had no idea there's a watch brand.
Well, I have one if you're looking for a watch.
I do not. I don't wear a watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I have never seen you wear a watch. That's
It's because I
right.
have a cell phone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
She got a point. It's a thing now. People wear watches.
But to your point too, it's like people just want it to work, right? Just like your
Right.
phone, you just want it to work. Like your gi, you just want it to fit and not rip, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
for me, the most important thing is the function of it. Like
Yeah.
the tool has to do what it was designed to do, and I want it obviously to do it well. I want it to last. You know, I that's the way I approach my gis. So when I find one that I like, you know, which very lucky for me, inverted gear, you know, has worked out well for me. Their gis last. I've been very happy with them and everything. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, you know, that's all I'm really looking for. But other people, absolutely, you know, they're like, no, like I want this special thing, or, you know, like not that I would never have a showy roll, but like, yeah, I don't generally need that.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know, I don't need to be like sitting here waiting for the stroke of midnight to get that one of 100 or whatever it may be.
And I think the vast majority of people are like you. You know, they don't care they don't even care if it's pink, right? They just let it fit, let it not stink, and
Right.
that's all I need. But you know, there's a good amount of people like you and me where we're like, well, we kind of care about it a little bit, you know. And I don't think anything's wrong with either.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Not
Although-
stink.
That's a
I
big
received 2
plus.
gis
That stank?
that smelled like mothballs. Brand new. And I contacted, one was Maida,
Huh.
right? And the
I'm
other
on
one was
blast right now.
Yeah.
and one was Albino and Preto.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wrote to them, and they didn't offer me a new gi. They gave me, Maida gave me, I think, I don't know, like $50 back.
Okay, I was gonna say like
And then
discount
Albino
on future.
Preto gave me zip. Like, sorry, wash it.
Deal with it.
Get what you get. Don't throw a fit.
It was kind of, I was like, that was the last gi I bought from them.
Well, at least it didn't smell like body odor.
But you can't get that, it won't come out.
Really?
You cannot
Oh,
get it
yeah.
out. You can't get that mothball smell out.
We know about that too.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does this happen? Like,
Right.
man, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess I get it. You got to store it somewhere. You know, not always ideal conditions.
yeah, but when it's
You don't
like
smell
the
like a
Maida one-
grandma
yeah, the
running.
Maida one I can understand because that one still, it wasn't like a special release, But the albino and Predator one, that was a special release, like limited edition. So I was like, oh, this should be brand new. Like, wouldn't be sitting around for that long.
It was like a fine wine. They put it on a shelf.
Yeah, right.
But they had to throw some mothballs to make
yeah,
sure it doesn't.
exactly. Yeah.
So you're selling that one on eBay?
I'm not selling either. I'm going to probably gift them to people.
Somebody with poor sense of smell, though, right?
Well, whoever wants to give what am I going to do? Some people have to.
Zito's like, listen, I just want you to know I hated this gi, and that's why I'm giving it to you. I think it smells like grandmother,
I mean,
but hopefully you can't tell that.
I've washed it in every chemical you can think of to try to get rid of it. There's still a faint smell of it. It's not horrible.
Always going to be there.
But it's always going to be there. But someone else will definitely appreciate
mothballs
that.
in the scheme of smells, not that unpleasant to me. Unlike, say, body odor, like the stinky unwashed gi that was left in someone's trunk in summertime.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk.
All right.
Doesn't happen at Monaco's,
Yeah, I was just
by the
gonna
way.
say.
Doesn't happen at my school.
Not mine either, but
But
Oh my God.
I've definitely run into it.
tell your
100%.
friends, guys. Tell your friends if they smell like ass. Do them a favor and tell them, okay, it smells so bad.
As opposed to just rolling with them while holding your nose.
I mean, I think. Okay, I tell everybody this. Like, please, when you're done rolling with your gi, just hang it up, let it dry. Don't just shove it in your bag. Don't just like leave it somewhere. It's gonna walk away on its own. It's gonna start growing something. I think that's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah,
so when I was fairly early in the game, no one had, and like, okay, like I wrestled, I had gym clothes as a kid,
Yes.
but like I was a kid, I was sort of a slob, let's be honest. And I also had a mother to wash all my clothes for me. So like the habit was like, oh, you curl up into a ball and you throw it in a bin and
Yes.
you wash it later. And that stinks to high heaven in relatively short order, especially, when it's hot in the house because it's summer day or whatnot. And I don't even remember, like, it was when I was in judo, but somebody was just like, I was like, oh man, it sucks so much. The stuff always stinks. I got to wash everything in vinegar. One of my buddies just looks at me and goes, are you hanging them up?
Yeah.
I go, no, I throw them in the bin. He's like, just hang them up until they're dry.
Yes.
They stop smelling. I'm like, oh,
That's where they grow the fungus, guys. It's in the hamper when it's wet,
right, for
balled
sure.
up. That's where it gets
100%.
nasty.
But if nobody ever tells you that,
yeah,
you just like, oh yeah, I throw my normal clothes in there, so I'll throw my workout clothes in there.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, well, like I said, yeah. And that was years and years and years ago. But that was like the game changer. I'm like, oh yeah, if it dries before before I wash it, it doesn't require anywhere near as much maintenance work. It's a lot easier. So yeah, like I hang dry everything before we wash it.
Yep.
Rash guards, spats, pants, doesn't matter.
And if you sweat in it, don't wear it again that day.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Although the only exception to that I have to that is like I sometimes run really long classes where it's like 4 hours straight through. I don't always change between classes.
I think that's okay. I mean, you're still wearing it, right?
But yeah, if I came in for like the noon class and then I'm coming back at 6, I'm not wearing the same
Yeah,
gi.
that's
Right.
gross. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't do that.
Yeah, even if I didn't sweat very much, if I was working with somebody who sweated a lot, like that's how these things spread, people.
Exactly. I mean, I don't smell as much, but when I roll with someone that does, I end up smelling like them.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's
For sure.
Yeah, what's up with that's so annoying to me. I
Yeah.
hate it. There's always that one guy you're like, oh man, I gotta roll with this guy and I'm gonna smell like him. And then the next guy's I think that's me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Sucks so much.
And then, like,
We're really selling jujitsu.
on the plus side, almost no one that doesn't already do some form of grappling listens to this podcast. This is not the podcast where we make fans. This is for people who are already fans.
There's people listening like, I feel your pain.
Right? Yeah. Pretty much everyone could. The other one is certain chemical usage. Whether you're the pot smoking guy at the gym and where it's sweating out of your pores, or even if you're just like the icy hot or CBD oil guy, where it's like there's always that one guy who's like, everything hurts. And he's covered in menthol of some kind, and then you roll with him, and you're like, now I smell like a geriatric.
If I was going to open my own gym,
Oh God, we're about to get some rules.
I thought about this.
We're about to get some rules laid down. What are the gym rules?
Two things for sure I would have in the gym. One
Would have.
at the door.
Laundry service.
Well, besides that, one at the door, a giant bowl of fresh mints.
For breath. For breath.
Absolutely.
Okay, breath mints.
You come in, boom, pop them in, and
Already
Good.
sounds like a pleasant place
right.
to go.
You come inside, and if you need to use the washroom, I would get those, dude wipes or those.
That sounds expensive, though. The
Doesn't-
mints
it
is
doesn't
very,
matter.
very inexpensive.
Because rolling with someone who just used the washroom and you come out and you're like, dude, you need to go wipe again because you smell so bad right now. You just go.
I'm tapping that triangle early.
Bro, did you miss? I don't get it. What is going on, man? So yeah, paper towels. No. You got to use them dude wipes, some nice fresh scent, or get a bidet, something like that. It's got to be going on.
I
I
can get
have
on board
never
with
in my
that.
life, to
Yeah.
my knowledge, been to a gym that has a bidet.
No,
so
right?
you could be the first
I could
ever.
be.
Yeah,
Could be the
this is
first.
probably actually super common in like Europe or something.
Maybe.
But they're like, oh, you savages.
Right?
Yeah. No.
AOJ actually has a laundry service.
I thought you were going to say
Did they
bidet. They have a laundry service and a towel service. Yeah. I know about the towel service because of a weird Reddit post that I read one time.
That's good.
No.
Makes
Like,
sense.
it's a good idea. I don't disagree with it.
Are they
to.
Ruka towels? 'Cause
I have no idea.
course I could
that's a
probably
fine
have
point. Yeah, they're albino aprieto. Yeah. No, but I know the towel service. So this one time, this guy goes down this. Plan words. He goes through this laundry list of issues that he has at AOJ about how the gym's gone downhill since he first joined and everything. And like, I'm reading this, I'm like, I can't believe this. And one of the things that he listed is he's like, I've shown up for the noon class and they didn't have my towel. And that line was what the entire internet focused on. And they're like,
Wow.
what the hell's going on? He's like, I pay extra for it. It's a service. Da, 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 da.
Right,
but
right.
no, they were unrelenting. They were just
Yes.
going to murder this guy over his inability to bring his own towel.
I would
Right.
never admit that. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I just bought some towels, microfiber towels now.
Yeah. That's
They're
what I got.
thinner. Oh, you do have them?
Yeah, that's the green one that you see me use periodically. Yeah, that's microfiber.
Yeah. So I haven't tried it yet. So.
This-
'Cause I've been carrying these larger towels.
Yeah, big
but-
fluffy bath towels.
I don't.
Yeah,
need
no,
those.
that takes up too much space. My gym bag
Way too much
takes
space.
too long to dry.
Yes, right,
Yeah, the
exactly.
microfiber very thin, does a good job. It feels very different because it's not like a soft bath
Yeah.
towel. But yeah, very absorbent. Is that it?
Absorbent.
Absorbent, yeah, absorbent.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I would
You were going to
went
go
with
with
that.
it. Yeah, we were
Yeah,
going to fact
sure.
check that one either. Yeah. Very absorbent and dries like super, super fast.
Now,
So-
when you're done, do you just fold it back up, put it in that little thing?
I was just going to ask the same.
No,
Yeah.
so okay, so this is gonna sound ghetto probably, but I will put it back in my bag temporarily. Usually, it's like the top thing on my bag, and then as soon as I get in my car, I throw it over the passenger side seat.
Yeah.
And usually, by the time I drive home, it's mostly dry.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but it probably looks weird. It's like got this green sheet.
Now his seat smells like another dude.
Right.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just use that after the shower usually. Yeah, that's not my dab myself like with sweat. That's for like I took a shower at the gym.
It's clean. Yeah.
Yeah. So at worst, it smells like a body wash.
That is a nice thing to have. Is a shower.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Zito's about to go on a rant. You just initiated Zito rant mode number 7 here.
Sorry, if
Yeah.
you don't have a shower at your gym, man.
Yeah, he won't train.
You know, have you ever seen? I don't know this video of like I think Unity in New York and all these
God,
guys.
that was so terrible.
Do you see what I'm? Oh yeah, it was so
That's
gross.
old
looking.
Unity, by the way. That's their
Oh,
old
really?
facility. Yeah.
I just see a bunch of guys running into the showers, wetting themselves out, coming back out and rolling.
Yeah.
What?
No,
It was
you
disgusting.
never seen that video?
No, I have not.
Okay, so this is
That's like
this
a
is an
meow
odd-
video, or is it like meows running?
Yeah, I mean they were there, but
But
yeah,
why were they running in the shower, running back
to cool
up?
themselves
to cool off?
Oh.
So
Yeah,
they
so-
come back onto the mat with like spilling water all over the place, and then they're rolling again.
Right. Yeah. No, like that's not the best habit to have. The idea is they're using it to cool themselves down and jump right back in and give 100% again because they're rolling super hard comp rounds.
I mean, I get it. I mean, there's
Right.
been times where I've been that hot. I'm like, oh my god, I can't breathe. I need something.
Yeah, but yeah, like they're literally running into the shower, jumping in with their gis on.
Wait, with their gis
Yes.
on.
Oh yeah. That was the detail you didn't mention. Jumping in with their gis on, showering, and going right back to roll. So they're just using it as a way of cooling off mid-round, or not
Yes.
mid-round, but between rounds. But then, they're trailing sweat and water all over the place to get back on the mats. So you're going to roll with some guy who's covered in his sweat, somebody
Sweat
else's
and
sweat,
water.
and a bunch of cold water.
Just imagine what it smelled like.
What the heck? That seems bizarre.
Maybe I'm being too picky. Oh
I don't
my
know.
God.
That's bizarre
I'm gonna
behavior.
get a lot of hate mail after this.
Whatever.
I mean,
I wouldn't worry about it.
there's only like 12 people from Unity listening to this podcast. We're fine.
That's odd. I don't really get that. Why would
I
they
mean,
do
like
that?
I said,
it's gotta be uncomfortable though to douse yourself in
what
water
I'm
with a gi
saying.
on. It's just bizarre.
You grabbing grips and you're squishing out water out of the
I have
gi
one.
and everything?
Well,
Yeah.
I have 100% trained hard enough, long enough, and in enough heat where I was doing that, and it was another man's sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You never had rounds like that?
Oh man.
Okay.
know
So
if I
that. I mean, we've had that happen in open mats before, where you do 12 rounds in a row. And by round number 8 or 9, you're just absolutely drenched in mostly your sweat, but not just your sweat. So yeah, like that happens. So the fact that they've added water to it, not really changing that much. It's
Are
just
there no fans in that place? There's no
there-
air
there-
conditioning?
There's definitely no air conditioning.
No, huh?
No, like
It's
open
New
window
York.
maybe.
Yeah, everything's old there.
I mean, I'm not even saying they don't have air conditioning. I'm saying they're obviously not using it.
Right.
Yeah,
Training in
yeah.
a box.
And I know a lot of guys that won't put on the AC in the summer. They want you to get that authentic Brazil experience.
Christian does that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't have AC coming up, and you don't need it either.
After the kids' class, all the kids walk out, all the parents walk out, turns off the AC.
Right.
All right, let's go.
Does he say something like, tonight we're going to train?
Oh no, it's just expected.
Oh, just normal? Okay.
It's normal.
Yeah. Sometimes that's like the subtle threat of just how intense things are going to be is when the AC goes off.
I mean, I'd rather train when it's hot than when it's freezing cold.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like just for general comfort.
Yeah.
The mats are not quite as hard.
For sure, yeah.
Socks are still on.
Yeah, don't feel that one's risky. But yeah, don't feel it in my old bones the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, jeez. Oh, man. So what else is going on?
That was a
We
strange.
just
change
talked
subject.
30 minutes about dirty geese.
Yeah, we should talk. We didn't actually. I mean, we kind of touched on it. So your strange introduction to jiu-jitsu is because of gis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got involved in it. When did you go and be like, okay, I've been doing this a while. I can clearly do this gi thing better than other people.
I don't even think I'm there yet, actually. But
was very honest.
I could tell you why I even got started in like the whole
Design.
the brand. Yeah,
Right.
I used to own an automotive performance shop, which is actually still in business.
Let me just say that's super Asian of you, sir.
Yes, of course. I fit every stereotype. I have shoes. I collect shoes. I'm into cars.
Did Taekwondo as a kid?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Bowl haircut.
Just check them all off.
Yep. And I did that for that was a large part of my life at that time. But I was pretty much in charge of all the front house, right? Like creating the brand, doing a lot of the merch, the sales and everything.
Yeah.
And we were doing a lot of T-shirt sales, and I just had a lot of fun with it, and
Right.
that actually became like a large part of our business, like just doing like stickers for cars and vinyl, and that was like really, really fun for me. So when I got out of the business, I got a normal big boy job and did the whole IT thing. We'll still do it.
Sounds terrible.
What IT are you in?
Well, I do a lot of like data management. So I work with SQL and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's like more like the transfer of data and stuff. So
Okay.
it's really boring.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah, I just honestly, really, I just got started and I just wanted to make my own gi, and I wanted to, when I first started looking into like brands and stuff, I wanted to specifically support someone that was Chicago based,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time there really wasn't anything like that, and that kind of like sparked it. I'm like, well, like maybe I should start something and let me try this out. And my goal has always been to really promote Chicago Jiu Jitsu, and I think we kind of fall under the radar. I think we have a lot of great athletes that come out of here.
I mean, like, that's kind of the point of our whole podcast is to
Exactly.
highlight Chicago in particular because we're here, but the
Right.
Midwest in general. You know,
Exactly.
everyone worries about the two coasts.
And that's exactly why I got really interested in your guys' podcast, and I, have been listening ever since, is because I just really appreciate what you guys do, right? Because we don't really have a platform, right? I mean, unless we go to a tournament and maybe you have a conversation with somebody or visit another gym, but like, people don't really, oh, you guys have, Jiu Jitsu in Chicago, and like, I mean, of course, it's a lot more mainstream now. So like, if I go to a different city and I go train somewhere else, they're like, oh, who do you train under? And I'll say
Right.
Christian, and Uflacker or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, and it's kind of cool, to kind of have that affiliation. But as far as like like brands and stuff, there's not, and even for like just like normal streetwear, there's not a lot.
Like an iconic Chicago brand.
Yeah,
Right.
and I do follow a lot of brands, and it was just fascinating that I couldn't find anything like that, So
How'd you come up with the logo?
the logo, well, the Chicago stars are on here. I try to at least implement that in whatever I do. I try to implement that somehow in the design, but a lot of it just kind of it's just my style. I've been doing art ever since I was a kid, probably as long as I've been doing jiu-jitsu.
Did you ever have the C the other way?
I have I don't know. I think I have,
So it was
actually.
like totally mirrored, you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. Have I?
Zito clearly wants you to, though. Look at the intensity in his eyes.
The balance works out, right? If I did do that,
Yeah.
it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Next drop, buddy.
I know. It's
I,
very good.
I don't know, like the backward C, I might mistake it for an O or something
I
like
don't
that. CJJO?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly,
I like because I'm a fan of like CBGB.
Mirroring.
Yeah.
That iconic, like, so like some people don't even know what it stands for, and they're just like, I want that shirt. I still have shirt from there.
I think a lot of people when they see the Ruka design, they're like, "Oh, I like that. I don't even know what
No,
it
they
means."
don't know what that-
I was like,
right.
"Ruva? Was it? What does that
No,
stand
that's
for?"
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just,
But it's so cool looking, so iconic looking, so clever.
right.
And that's like when I look, I'm like, I'm just wondering if you ever just flip that C. So
I'm gonna work on that when I get
that'd be-
home.
It'd be cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been fun, and like how we were talking about earlier, like a lot of the stuff that I do, it's like I'm not even thinking, production, financing, anything. It's like it's my way of expressing myself, and if other people get on board, that's cool, And I'm gonna probably keep making this stuff even if I don't make any money. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like
So you are paying for the high price custom gi, basically.
Yeah.
Only you have like 10 of them minimum order.
How many different lines do you have out right now? What do you have?
Like as
t-shirt,
far as like
hats,
drops
like,
and stuff.
Yeah, like different
Products.
products.
I don't know, maybe like 5, 10. We just did like a rank drop, a really small drop, for people that, I think this is like the promotion season. So like everyone's looking for ranked rash guards. And that was another thing too. Like I was going through all the websites, going through everything. I'm like, I need a ranked rash guard if I'm going to compete, And I just go through everything. I'm like, I don't like any of these, like maybe like the shoulder looks weird or something. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to design my own. And that kind of gave me that idea. So consistency has probably been my biggest hurdle, because I think for most brands, like consistency is very important. But when I design, it's just kind of like feel, if I feel like I see something, or like I feel like I want to drop something, and I got a lot of ideas, but it's like, there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
You got to pay for samples.
Is that why pre-order is so huge right now? It's like pre-order, just to get that cash flow in, so you can
It is.
utilize that money to put towards that drop.
Yeah, and you don't take as big of a risk,
Right.
like
Exactly.
like my Chicago Jiu-Jitsu club drop. I think a lot of people just assumed that it was like school affiliated. Like I'm not gonna wear some other, like, it's like me going wearing a Gracie Baja shirt or something. It's like, well, I don't really represent them, so why would I buy that? But it was kind of mistook, I think, maybe. And my whole goal for that drop was just like, hey, we're Chicago, we're Midwest, whatever you want to call it. Let's create something together. Let's represent, basically. So
Man, I like that. I almost wore that hoodie today. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be weird.
Well,
I mean, I guess I could have, but
I'm being weird. I wore my own shirt.
Well, no, you definitely should. Yeah. If you walked in here with like a show your old gi, that'd be weird, probably.
Which I still wear, by the way. I paid good money for those.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna wear them.
Giving away all the free advertising revenue here. Yeah.
It's brought to you by CJJC Brand.
yeah, there's so many different SKUs out there. Like everyone's trying to like just do all these different like promotion. It's almost like promotional items now. The
Yeah.
different types of things they come out with. Show Your Old has come out with, like handbags and like say,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Wait, handbag like
Well, not like like duffels and like, but
Oh,
they're
okay.
not
Like,
really
but for-
useful though. You're not going to put a gi in a.
that was my question.
$1,000
Like
kit.
training gear
Yeah,
bag or
it's more like an overnighter more than anything.
oh yeah. Well, when
But
I
it's
want
like ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, when
You
I
know,
want to
it's-
impress some girl, if she also does jujitsu, maybe
Right.
I
Yeah.
got my
Walk around
overnight
with
show.
your own-
Let's face it though, no girl that knows jujitsu knows what show your roll is. Like
That's not true. They got to exist, right?
they don't care that I paid $250 for this parka. Like no,
Yeah.
but I think what they're
Shit,
trying to
that-
do is they're trying to make the flip to more of like an active wear company. I mean they're still gonna
Right.
have their roots, but I think they're just trying to like broaden out, which I think is kind of cool. But it's really hard to get buy-in.
It's tough
to buy a $250 parka. You know what I mean? It's like-
Right. But the guys, I mean, but by the same token, the guys that already are into that
Right.
brand, why not sell them
mean,
other things?
I would buy it, but like if I wanted it, like
Right.
I guess it just really depends on the person and what stuff talks to them, I guess.
Yeah, there's just so. I mean, we're a consumer. That's what we do. We consume everything, and man, there's everyone selling everything to you.
I mean, look at these kids nowadays with like the YouTube channels. Like they just, they create this popularity and then they come out with their own brand and they sell out, more than most mainstream brands.
Right.
It's just who you can connect with. And
Yeah. It's probably a lot easier to turn a couple million YouTube subscribers onto whatever your T-shirt or coffee mug or whatever item you're trying to sell.
Absolutely.
Than it is to just be like, hey, I make T-shirts.
I mean, that's
And
true.
just
To
shout into the
a lot
darkness.
of like Instagram people as well. Like they'll come out with their own brand and their own workout gear, and
everybody has a brand nowadays.
It's just-
Oh man, I don't have a brand. I'm
and that's
I'm just a failure.
I've been reluctant, and I've come out with, and we have some Grappler Union hoodies.
Yeah.
And I had them made, and Javier has one. I've got one.
realistically, my wife has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have one.
Well, I do, but I mean, like the wife is actually the one who makes the most
yeah.
use out of them.
Yeah.
But,
that's
so-
usually how it works. I like this hoodie. I want it. I'm gonna take it.
Give me that.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, everyone when I wear it, be like, oh man, I would buy one of those. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to spend the time and
it costs
developing
money,
that.
right? Like, I mean, then you have to estimate, like, well, how many should I make?
That's
should
the
I
hard
make
part, yeah.
50 of them
Right.
and then only sell 5?
Like here's the
Right.
thing, though. Like okay,
There's so much out there. It's like,
we have more fans sometimes than I think you realize. So let's point that out.
Okay.
Okay. And second, we were just talking about you could do a pre-order. So, like you'd have to step
sure.
on the social media thing again.
Right.
You have to be like, hey, come here. We've set up a website because we have that technology.
you know what
can
I'd rather
pre-order.
do? I'd rather collaborate with someone like
And have them help design it.
And then
Is this
we
is this
design-
happening on air?
We design like actual like, and then he just does his thing.
Am I
And-
invited to this party at all? Or are you like, no, Hop?
No, you are absolutely not invited. Sorry.
We're not putting a Captain America logo on our Grappler Union shirt.
Put one very small, in the
one,
corner.
But you call the flag colors?
Yeah, there you go.
Paul Maloney was wearing an untucked shirt last night. I only bring this up because he received his black belt, and then he wore this like black dress shirt. And he's like, dude, he goes, I didn't even plan this. He goes, so I went to Untuck and I bought this shirt. I'm like, all right. And on the corner of the shirt,
It's got a little red.
It's got
bar.
a little red triangle right there on the corner. He goes, dude, I haven't planned it. I'm like, That's pretty dope, though. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Also,
cool.
Paul, nobody believes you.
So,
I bought it right when they found out.
Gotta coordinate.
got to coordinate. He was so proud of himself.
That is so cool.
All right, so I just want to let's back this up. Let's stop talking about Paul Maloney. He'll get his own episode again soon, I'm sure. Okay, so you guys are gonna collaborate on a nice, clean design
Sure.
for
Let's do it,
for a
man.
hoodie, for a
I'm down.
T-shirt.
Something,
We're
yeah.
gonna have a Grappler Union exclusive gi. What are you talking
I don't
about
know.
here?
We'll figure something out.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's
right?
the limit. I mean, heck. You know,
I'm all down for collabs.
Yeah,
by the
this is the
way.
most overpriced gi that you've ever made.
or maybe we'll just create one like amazing gi and then just auction off to like charity. Do something like that.
That's cool too.
Auction it off to charity, and it ends up in the studio. Zito, Zito like I need it.
Zito buys
My
it.
design is a one of one.
That's what I do.
A0 only size.
That's it. All right. You have to be
God.
this small to fit it. It's like that motorcycle out there. Like I can't sell it because I made that one for me. And so someone to buy it
built
would have to
that?
be it would
Oh,
be
that's
my
so cool.
size.
Right.
So it's like
I mean,
kinda,
there are other people
I
your
know there are
size.
people my size, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just you
Yeah.
got to find the right buyer for that. you
Women,
know?
small children. Most of the people at the open mat.
Right. Not that I'm selling it, but I'm just saying.
But if you were to,
If I
it
were
would-
to, I have to find someone.
You can't sell it to normal sized people.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only you must be this small to ride instead of this tall.
Exactly.
I can't say shit. He's taller than me.
Oh my god.
I know. I am taller than you.
Taller and weighs less. It's super annoying.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
You see, you
Do you
should
have
get
hollow
you some Air
bones?
Maxes. They'll give you like 3 inches. So
There you go.
There you go. I think I'm shrinking. I think I am.
I mean, we're
actually
all shrinking. That's-
I know.
that's what happens
But
when you
I
get
think
older.
it's significant now. I think I'm like, man, I don't remember being this short. Like I was out last night. And I'm like, why is everyone so
remember being
fucking
this
tall? I'm just looking around. I'm like, man, I feel really
I mean, you couldn't
short.
have shrunk that much.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because jiu-jitsu and I'm playing bottom too often. I'm
Yeah,
getting
that's the
crushed.
problem. You
And
got
it's like
more hunched over
compressing your
posture.
spine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compressing my spine a lot, and I'm just like,
I don't remember if Kaplan mentioned it on the podcast, but I know I was talking to him about it, or somebody else that's like deep into pro wrestling. Hulk Hogan, from years and years and years of
heard
doing
that,
the
yeah.
leg drop
I heard
as
about
his
that,
signature
too.
move, has compressed his spine and actually lost more height than he should
Yeah.
have with age. Yeah, super strange. Like I would have never thought of that as a, like your signature move is actually like damaging you.
right.
Like, that's terrible, man. Like, just do an elbow drop instead.
Right.
and you do it as a kid, you're like, this don't hurt.
Yeah, nothing hurts when you're a kid. Yeah, made of rubber. And then you're getting in your 30s and you've been on the road for 20 years doing this move and you're like, I don't want to do it again. And the fans are calling for it and you're like, I got to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Hulk Hogan was recently on an episode of the Goldbergs.
Wait, what?
You ever see the Goldbergs?
What's the Goldbergs?
Ah, thank you.
It's a show on. What is it?
ABC. Yeah.
It's like it's a Jewish rom-com
Yeah.
site. Or not
It's-
rom-com.
Back in like the 80s.
Yes, it's everything. Like they never get out of the 80s. Like
Right.
they're getting older.
It's a period piece.
They get like the kids get older, but they are still in
Wait,
the
how
80s.
long has that been running? 'Cause
It's got to
I-
be for like 8 seasons or something like that.
Jesus.
Some ridiculous long time. But it's super clever. That and Fresh Off the Boat. Not that because you guys are Asian, but I'm just saying.
What
Fresh
are you
Off the Boat's
saying?
Hilarious.
Nobody was thinking that until
Well,
you said
because
that.
it's the 90s and it's freaking hilarious. Like I can everything, the rap, everything
Yeah.
that kid goes
So-
through is hilarious.
Is this all based off the popularity of that 70s show? And they're like, okay, now we have to have that 80s show, and now we have
Maybe.
that 90s show.
Yeah, well,
We'll have an
now
early
they
2K
did a
show.
spin-off of Goldberg's to now it's called Schooled, and it's based in the 90s. ABC's killing it these days.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch normal TV.
You know, I don't, but
I'm on a Disney Plus.
right? Mandalorian. Did you
Yes.
check it out? Okay,
I
we can't talk because
Wait, okay.
spoilers.
What
Like
was
it's
that?
still
What was
very
that? What'd you say?
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
What's
it's
that?
it's,
It's
the
hot.
selling point of buying Disney Plus. It's
What is it?
The news. So
I'll let you explain.
yeah, jump on in. But you're familiar with the cultural phenomenon known as Star Wars, right? You've heard of this at least.
Yes.
Okay. So the Mandalorian is. Do you remember the character Boba Fett?
Yes.
Okay, so Boba Fett wore Mandalorian armor. Okay, that's what his suit was. Okay, and the story of the Mandalorian takes place 5 years after, or in that 5 year period rather, after Return of the Jedi. Okay, so the Empire has fallen, sort of, and he's a bounty hunter that is a Mandalorian that wears that cool power armor that's got all the cool weapons and everything in it, and that alone would sell me because I'm a Star Wars nut, and Boba Fett's design was freaking amazing, even though he had like 3 speaking lines in the whole movie. Okay, but so it follows his adventure as he goes on these various bounty hunts, and he's kind of a badass. It has a very like serial Western style to it. So if you're into old Westerns and you also like sci-fi, this is the perfect series for you. If I don't know.
Is it like, didn't Will Smith come out with like a Western where it was like
shut up.
sci-fi?
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? What was
Nothing like that.
Was it called like Wild Wild West?
Oh God! No.
Was it, he had a whole rap with him?
Stop! You've ruined everything.
Wow, West.
That's all I'm thinking. When you said that to me, that's all I picture.
No, not like that at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
did
Big
you ever
Daddy
watch
Kane
Firefly?
doesn't come out and sing the song.
Did you ever watch the series Firefly?
No.
Okay, you missed out on something good there, but it's still available. So you
Okay.
Power of the internet. You pull that up at some point. So yeah, that's not a selling point at all for you. I'm trying to think of what will help me out here. What will convince Zito to actually try this
I
without
don't know. It's
giving
kind of
spoilers?
pissing me off, man, because you're only getting 30 minutes and you get it once a week. So I'm
that's 'cause
impatient.
We've been spoiled.
Who plays the main character?
So I don't know what movie that you might have seen him in. Pablo Pascal, excellent actor. You never see his face. It could be anyone in. Well, not so far. We're only 2 episodes in. But the plan is that you're never going to see his face.
Oh, so it could be anybody.
Yeah, could literally be anybody. But like the body language, his vocal performance, it's excellent. Like it's really good stuff. You learn like you kind of learn
played
more
him in Star Wars.
Well, it's not the same character, but
it's not the same character.
So Boba Fett was played by different people during different
Right.
eras. Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett, same sort of where they had multiple people. They had stuntmen in there for things, and I'm sure they do that in this here too. Don't need to be like risking the actor as he's about to get in a scene where he gets trampled by a space buffalo or something.
Space buffalo.
Sure, why not?
Is
It was
that
actually
real?
a rhino.
Spoiler alert.
It was a rhino. Everyone saw the trailer. It's okay. But yeah, so. He turns in. He's the main character. Like I said, you don't see his face. He's kind of a man of mystery. Let me ask you a question. You a gamer at all?
I used to be really.
Do you get a bit of a vibe that he's like the main character in like a role playing
Battlefront?
game? Yeah, where it's like you never see his face. He's kind of mysterious. You hear his voice. Every once in a while, he gets like a side quest. Gets awarded with an armor upgrade here. And
Now
there.
that you say it, yeah, I could see it that
That was
way.
the vibe I got as soon as he went and got the one upgrade, and I'm just like, oh, that's going to be like a theme throughout this. Every once in a while, he's going to upgrade the suit, just like in a role playing game.
The video game's in the making right now by EA.
Man, it'd be the easiest game ever if they just follow along season 1. That'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah, like
It's pretty good though. I mean,
it was I mean, I know you're
But you have,
complaining
to pay,
that it was.
you have to pay for Disney, right? You have to like buy that.
it's like
Yeah.
another Netflix subscription.
Oh, is it really? Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's
So
like,
so here's the thing, and again, just endless shilling. That's all we do on this podcast is shill for companies that aren't giving us money. But so I already had the ESPN Plus subscription because of the UFC, and they had a package deal that they released where you get Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu all for one low price of $12.99 or whatever the hell it is. But like,
Hulu?
yeah, Hulu basic, like with commercials
basic,
and whatnot.
yeah, Disney bought them or something, right?
Disney
Yeah.
bought Hulu?
Yeah, I think so.
something
Hulu
like
just raised their prices.
Okay, well, I got in under that.
Way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Get on that Disney Plus, man.
I was already paying what is it, $6 or $7 a month for ESPN Plus.
$5.30 a month.
Is that that's if you sign up for 12, right?
I don't know. That's what I pay.
Okay,
every
well,
month.
regardless, it's like
I canceled UFC Fight Pass though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
You've
What's the point?
Well, at this point, you've lost access to all that archive footage, though,
I don't
right?
really- I'd never watch it.
See, that was one of the things I liked most about it. But regardless, sorry. So yeah, I'm paying $5-6 or whatever for ESPN Plus. Disney Plus is like an additional $6.99. So like, $7 plus $5. It's already over the price of the bundled package, and then you also get Hulu thrown in on top of that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is a
pretty good
no-brainer
deal.
at this point. So yeah,
In
I like
addition
it.
to your Flow Grappling and your Netflix. And
Yeah, well, okay. Let's not talk about all the things that I'm streaming because it's probably getting up to the point where it's more expensive than basic cable.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also still have basic cable. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of that. That's gotta go.
We
so
still use it,
expensive, man.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. And what I think Hulu and all these AT&T and all these companies that offer live TV, they
Yeah.
get you in at
Well,
the
Hulu-
entry level, and then now they're just going to start
Hulu
pumping
Plus
it up.
Live is an additional cost though, so certain
Yeah.
channels you have to pay extra for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
but so Hulu, it's one of my employees has it, so it's like $14.99 for HBO add-in. But when I
Yeah.
had AT&T, I canceled AT&T. When I had AT&T, the upgrade for HBO was like $7.99. It's like, well, how could Hulu be double AT&T? It's just so many cross deals and this and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
it's
I
gotten
agree.
it's gotten pretty complicated.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And then the worst thing is I'll kill somebody because I've got Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it comes with Prime Video. We've got Netflix. We got YouTube Red, which is commercial free YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot.
there's YouTube TV too.
Right, I haven't gone there
YouTube
yet.
Music.
Haven't gone there
Yeah.
yet. I do have YouTube Music.
You do.
Yeah, well, Google Play Music or whatever it's called. And then
I've got Pandora. I'm going to cancel that because that's a waste of money. Also,
I'm not paying for it, but I had.
Well,
yeah.
Pandora commercial free is like $4.99 a month, but they play the same freaking songs over and over. Every state, I'm like,
It's just
what?
like the radio. They're giving
It's
you the authentic
utterly ridiculous.
experience.
Utterly ridiculous. I got to
Yeah,
cancel that.
so yeah, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix, yeah, the list goes on and on. If you ever come at me and be like, I can't find anything on the TV, I'll lose my shit. like I really will.
You're gonna Hulk Hogan leg drop your kids.
For sure. Body slam off the ropes.
The subscription base is so fascinating to me, and I've seen it occur. Even like with software.
Yeah.
Like SaaS, that SaaS software as a service is huge. Microsoft now
Right.
adopted it. Like
Oh yeah, like all the Adobe products.
all the
you
Adobe
can't
products.
purchase it anymore. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
a
it
month.
kills- killed me when
AutoCAD, all
Adobe
these
did that.
companies- All
Yeah.
these companies are just
Yeah.
going to that model where it's like, we're gonna nickel and dime you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
It's
for
the
sure
way
you
it is.
are. And you can't
It's the way
own
it is.
anything.
You won't ever own it.
Yeah, you're just renting.
Yeah.
I'm still using my Photoshop 5.
Back in the day.
Whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
You got at
right
least
now.
have
I mean,
CS5, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
My
Yeah,
wife-
it's CS. It's
Yeah, yeah.
CS for sure.
My wife does. I mean, like she's not a professional or anything, but like she does a lot of photo manipulation and whatnot because she takes a lot of pictures. And like the main thing that she uses, which is totally free, might I add, is GIMP. I don't know if you're familiar
I've
with
never
it.
heard of that.
Yeah, that's like a free alternative to Photoshop. Has a lot of the same functions. Doesn't work exactly the same. Not the exact same layout and
Hey, but
whatnot.
free is free, right?
But free is is a good price.
Yeah, very good.
So
Yeah, there's so much because I think that's just like the generation that's grown up that's just getting used to paying these small little
yeah,
fees,
microtransactions are
Yeah.
like
just-
that.
man,
It gets you.
that's it.
Yeah. Bringing it back to things I know, gaming, like that freaking kills me. That like back in the day, you'd buy a game, like an expensive game back in the day was like $60, $70, mind you. There were some exceptions where it went bigger than that, but like that was like your A1 primo release right there. You're gonna play that game for a while, and as you work your way through it, you're gonna earn things, and occasionally they're gonna give you like a free update here and there. And now it's like, oh, like we're gonna release this, we're gonna half-ass it. We're gonna patch it through the internet. We're gonna add microtransactions so that if you want this special costume for your character, you pay me 99 cents or
You're talking about
we'll get
Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
My
yeah,
nephews, they downloaded Fortnite on my iPad, and I'm like, all right, do what They're like, Uncle, can you give us $20? I'm like, $20 for what? They're like, oh, we can buy these. I'm like, buy what? You don't.
They're
that's a
buying
thing.
clothes
They're
for
buying
for your
shit.
video
I'm like,
game.
what the fuck is this?
No,
This
that's
is crazy.
That's it's got to be the most profitable thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like the infinite supply for as much demand as you could want.
I mean, it's a brilliant model.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong, but it's insane that people are actually buying into it.
No, that's
Crazy.
And going back to collabs,
that's not new.
oh my god, like AT&T's collabing with Fortnite to like release like certain skins with certain phones that you buy, which are like limited edition.
Yeah.
It's
Jesus.
crazy.
I'm so glad
crazy.
I'm not interested in that at all, because like I'm a very compulsive collector. Like I'm always scared that eventually he's going to talk me into becoming like a gi collector. I'll go completely off the
We're
deep
gonna
end.
flip you.
No, I'm fine.
We're
I'm
gonna
fine.
flip you,
I'm
Javi.
fine. Gis are just tools. I'm okay. You just got to keep that mentality. As soon as they become collectibles for me, yeah, my wife will leave me. I'll bankrupt our family. Yeah, like I couldn't even imagine, because like that was my big thing with Magic the Gathering. Like it was my ability. Like I love playing the game, but it was my ability to like collect all the cards. And I would do really, really crazy stuff to get really hard to get cards. Okay, like
Sell yourself on the street? How crazy are we talking, huh?
there may have been some times when my family almost went without food and rent. I mean, like, you know, they never got to the full prostitution thing.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
No, but like, and what broke me of that addiction actually was the literal inability to get one of the cards, because there was only one of it in the world and I wasn't the champion that won it. And I'm just like, I can't ever be complete now.
You can never be the one.
Right. So I'm like, oh, but that's okay. Like now that I don't have to be this total completionist anymore.
Right.
Now I'm just it broke the cycle.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's possible for me to start collecting something and it's possible for me to get them all, I will do really stupid stuff to try and get them all. Thank God I'm not addicted to Pokemon.
Is that still a thing?
Oh, it's still is a thing.
Oh, it's still a thing, yeah.
They
Really?
just
Okay.
released the new Pokemon on like Friday. My son is glued. The little one is the little one and the middle one glued to the friggin' Switch.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was even joking around like, you know, in my day, you know, the new game would come out and you'd still occasionally have to go out and get away from the game. But these days, especially on the Switch, like, you know, you just plop it out and you bring it with you, because the Switch is a portable gaming console that hooks up to your TV.
I see.
So yeah, like the kid can just be like, oh, hey, we're going to go see grandma. Okay, ploink. Bring it right with.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know you don't experience this stuff because you don't have the youngins, but
No.
Instant gratification.
yeah,
Constant, right?
anywhere.
Just constant.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
yeah, and that like, not that the Xbox and the PlayStation and other stuff goes completely unused, but like for sure, he's always like, if there's an option to play a Switch game, he's always going to pick that one because he damn well knows that he can take it to his room, he can take it out.
There's
to
no
dinner.
breaking that, right? It's all coming down to the ability for the parents to say, okay, this is what you can do. And then when that kid gets older, he's going to invent something so that you don't have to take it out. It's just going to be a part of you. There's going to be a chip inside. It's like, forget that. I don't want to have to like grab something, actually hold it. I want it to be implanted in me. Just download that thing into my
We're not
into my
quite there yet,
glasses.
Zito. Calm down.
We could be
But
going there.
hold on,
for sure.
That's Running Man 2020 or whatever.
Are you
that movie is.
man, this is taking a weird turn. It really has. Are you aware of Google Stadia?
No.
Ooh.
Are those the glasses? Or no,
No,
that's
no,
Google
no.
Glass.
So, I'm going to probably butcher this,
That's okay.
but basically, Google took the idea, and there's other companies working on this. Microsoft's got their own version of it and whatnot too. But Google took the idea of streaming video and said, let's stream games. And some other companies had tried this before, but nobody had like the power that Google has. So now you can get like AAA titles that you would need top of the line hardware for, stream to your phone or tablet anywhere that you are, and you can play the game on your phone or tablet, because all the
What's
processing,
a AAA title? What do you mean by that?
like you know, like top releases, like
Call of Duty.
yeah, like the
Okay.
big releases that every year there's going to be a new one in a series, or like, you know, Microsoft, Sony, whatever, has put like a ton of money in this particular one because they're trying to build a franchise off of it. Sometimes those big titles are like literally selling people on the console because they're console exclusives.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, like just big time releases. Okay, so like you can't put Call of Duty on the phone directly. The phone doesn't have enough processing power, but the
I
supercomputer.
beg to differ.
Well, okay, sorry. They can put a version of Call of Duty, but it's not going to be the same as the PC version. Sorry.
Right.
But you can have like a computer in like a data center running Call of Duty, and through this process, now it streams the video to the phone,
right.
and then your controls are streaming back, and they've limited the latency so much that you're actually effectively playing like a full version of the game live from your phone. They got a little,
It's amazing.
Really?
little controller that attaches
Really?
to the phone and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So like we're talking about like I'm talking about like, hey, you can take your Switch with you, and they're like, no, that's so last generation taking
Right.
the game with you. We're gonna have the game in this huge data center, and you can just stream it to your phone anytime you want to play it.
Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And that's just like the mid step, like where this is going to be in 10 years. We're going to look back on that and like streaming games, so last year technology.
Yeah, now it's like I don't even have to go to the console anymore. I just got to turn on my phone, hit my app, and I can play Call of Duty while I'm on the toilet for 5 minutes, right?
Right.
It's like,
Don't mention that around Zito. He's very
So like Ready Player One is going to be coming for
well.
for real.
I mean,
You're going to be
yes,
plugged in.
I mean, I think the future of technology is we're not going to have these slabs anymore.
What are you going to have?
I think
glasses, implants.
glasses, and well,
Contacts?
The future is probably contacts until we figure out some real pretty intense cybernetics.
So
but,
what is going to be like? Just you could just post up on
yeah,
like
but well,
a
here's the thing:
screen or
like,
in front of you.
You
How-
probably want something tactile. Okay, so you might want something in your hand to type on as opposed to just gesture typing in the air. It depends on how the experience is. Okay, right now a lot of the gesture stuff doesn't really work as great as you'd like it to. Like it's still early days on a lot
Like
of that
the
technology.
Minority Report stuff.
Yeah, like if it worked that well, everyone would be down with that. And like you listen to guys talk about like things that inspired them. That movie inspired a ton of people in tech
Yes,
that
it
are
did.
trying to get to that point. So yeah, like I don't actually need like a holographic
They also have that in
projector.
the Matrix as well.
Yeah, similar.
they did have that.
No, overall different, but yeah, like Minority Report. Go back and like a lot of the stuff that's in there is stuff guys are currently working on to like bring to reality.
Yeah.
But instead of necessarily like doing like a hollow screen or anything like that,
right.
if everyone has, let's say, AR glasses, okay, just glasses, and everyone's looking at the same projection, then everyone's going to see the same screen, even if there's no screen there, because it's just AR through the glasses. You're doing augmented reality instead of creating holograms or things like that.
Does AR, and I've never worn AR glasses, but does AR, does it feed the room? Like if I put AR glasses on, will I still see this table?
Yeah,
or this
yeah,
table
so-
would be gone.
So we could probably pull up something like in your app store just as a design where you'd look through your screen. So like if I've got my phone up like this,
Yeah.
okay, and I've got the camera on and it's got access to the camera, then like you go over a certain thing and it can create an object on your screen that you're not seeing in real life.
It's like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good. Do you Snapchat, sir?
I don't.
Okay,
But-
never mind. It's good for everyone but Zito.
So in AR though, they can create it still creates this table. Like you're not going to walk into the table is what I'm
No,
trying
no,
to
yeah,
say.
you'll
You're not
still
gonna be
see
walking
it.
in a
You'll
wall.
still see
in
it.
virtual
You'll still see it.
reality, in virtual
Oh,
reality,
virtual-
yeah. So AR is augmented reality.
I see.
VR is virtual reality. With virtual reality, you're not seeing the world around you. You're completely immersed in a virtual world.
I get it.
Okay, and man, I go up to when we go up to the Dells. There's the Kalahari Hotel. They have a virtual reality game there where you walk around with like guns and shoot zombies or aliens and
Really?
stuff.
Where are you
it's-
walking?
Huh?
Where are you walking?
So this kind of has to be seen to appreciate it fully. You're just in an empty room with grid lines on the floor, and you wear this backpack. You've got a gun that's hooked to the backpack, and then you have a headset that goes over your eye, that goes over the eyes, and then you've got a headset over your ears, so you can hear everything that's spoken through the microphones. Okay, and when you're in the game, because of the way virtual reality works, you feel like you're walking around this fairly huge space, and like I can't remember what there's this one where you're fighting aliens, okay, and you're moving through a ship, okay, and the unit is designed so it can detect when you're close to a wall or another person, and it'll give you a warning, like warning, 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 back up. And that actually is represented by like a virtual wall anyhow. But if you kept going and ignored the warning, you'd literally run into something. Okay. But because it's like warning you, you're like, oh, step back, I'm about to exit the zone or whatever. So you don't do that very often. But in the so like there's this one where it's like a zombie encounter. Okay. And at the end of the zombie encounter, spoiler alert, at the end of the zombie encounter, they airlift you out. Okay, so you get on this virtual platform, and it's got like bars around it and everything, and they lift you up, and you're shooting down at zombies, and you get these miniguns, so you can just go hog wild and don't have to worry about ammo and everything. And you're blasting these zombies from the air and whatnot. And while you're in it, like, you feel like you're moving. You're like, yeah, I'm totally being lifted into the air by the helicopter.
You turn on the fans,
but,
the wind's
but you're not
blowing.
going anywhere. You're just sitting on the ground.
Right.
Or not sitting. You're just standing on the same ground that you were on before. And it's just the visuals that you're so immersed in the VR that it convinces you that you're being lifted up by the helicopter. Yeah, and that's like, I mean, it's pretty cool and it's pretty advanced, but that's still relatively low-level shit compared to what's coming in the future.
Yeah, honestly, till you said, I didn't realize that AR and VR
are different. Yeah.
Are different.
So
things.
virtual reality is convincing you that you're in a world that you haven't.
Right. And that's where you don't see anything in that room.
Right.
You're
Except
just,
what they project into your visor.
Right.
Okay.
Whereas augmented is like what
an
you were
overlay
saying,
on, and like AR is way more useful in a lot of ways because we don't want to be spending a lot of time in virtual worlds that don't exist necessarily, but we want to be able to introduce data that's useful into everyday life. So like if I'm downtown Chicago and I'm like, oh man, I could really go for a beef sandwich, like right now I got to pull up my phone, Google beef sandwiches and whatnot, and then like pull up my walking or driving directions to get there. Now. Yeah, well, the Portillo's right down the road. More free advertising. Mention your client there too.
Chickies beef.
There we go.
Beef.
They're not too far.
Not too far.
It's interesting you talk about that, but have you heard of like the Peloton workouts, like those bikes?
Yes.
That people like log into these like little chat
so they
rooms.
can compete with each other and stuff.
And then have you seen the mirrors?
The
where
mirror
people
is so
work
dope.
out?
Wait, no, I'm behind
It's
on
so
something.
freaking cool.
It's literally a mirror, and you're in a room now with like other people working out and stuff.
Okay, yes, I've seen that. Wait, that's the mirror that does that? I didn't know how that was.
It's just set up on the wall. It's a mirror.
It's literally a screen, like a TV
so,
screen.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. I didn't know what it was, but I've definitely seen that.
But I was thinking, like, man, what did you do?
Jiu Jitsu,
exactly.
Bringing it back. Good job, man.
Doing some drills
through the mirror.
Yeah, like why not? Why couldn't you do something like that?
See, this is actually Zito's dream. He wants virtual instruction, not just like watching a video per se, but like.
And get world-class technique instruction. That'd be pretty cool.
Except, I'm going to be honest. I was trying to watch a little of Danaher videos, and I fucking can't do it.
Did you fall asleep?
I fucking fall asleep. Yeah. I'm like nodding. I'm like, what the fuck? It's
because he talks like this, and he's very.
It does. It's so. It's crazy.
His voice like makes you want to fall asleep.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm like, I can't.
Golden Ryan is no.
Mr. Golden Ryan.
It's like that guy from who does like the Planet Earth. His
did you
voice
just
is
compare? Oh my God! Like no.
John Danaher to.
What's the guy? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't. But I can't. Like
Adder or something like that.
I would never.
I was thinking Morgan Freeman, but
Morgan Freeman. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, he did do it, but no, that
March of the Blue Belts.
Yeah, right. He could totally do it.
Oh my
but I can't do it. I can't. I want his instruction, his details, but I'm like, I can't do it, man.
Okay, so yeah, like he is a bit verbose and he is very repetitive.
Yes.
And I would generally encourage people not to try and power through because like his average DVD instructional is like 6 to 8 hours long.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'd fall asleep too, dude.
His Instagram post, you fall asleep too.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Oh my God.
Maybe.
Reading his post is like reading a small novel.
It is.
It's like you have to click the see more, and then it goes boom.
Yeah.
All the way down to your phone. I'm like, I'm not reading all that.
It's
an experience. It's an experience.
It is crazy.
And the thing that I find super crazy though is like he's not like that in real life. Like he is verbose and he explains things well and whatnot, but like he tones it way down compared to his actual personality.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
Yeah. it was an interesting
Did you get an
experience.
autograph from him?
No,
I'm just
no.
wondering if you're a fan out or anything like that.
No, I shook his hand at the end of class, just like everyone else is. But yeah,
But I know when we were together and Gary Tonin was next to us, you were kind of like fanning out a little bit with Gary Tonin.
I'd say I fanned out more for Eddie than Gary, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah. Gary is a definitely interesting cat, though. He's got that ADD energy. So
Yeah. He's got a big fight coming up, right? On Fight to Win. I just saw they announced the Honolulu card.
Oh, geez.
That happened already, didn't it?
Did it?
No. Did it?
I don't think so.
Oh God.
Maybe.
Did
I
I
don't
miss
know.
it?
I don't know. I think I just watched that special with Seth, and they were in Hawaii doing something.
Oh, that was the last one. That was 100, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's Adolfo, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, him and Adolfo are gonna hook it up at the Hawaii card. Man, the Hawaii card. That's a nice little dream come true for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Barry Ishida's fighting on it. That's all I need to get
Yeah,
interested.
Barrett, he's the second co-main event.
Right.
Yeah.
When is that?
I don't know.
Soon, although apparently, God, we hope it hasn't passed. It was a busy weekend, man. Like we had so much stuff going on.
What was going on this weekend?
I mean, we just had a UFC card.
What was the UFC card? I didn't see any of it.
It was
Was it the Korean Zombie?
no, it was
I can't keep track.
Jacare versus what's his
won?
name? Not Jacare.
Jacare lost?
Yeah.
Jan, whatever. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
not the old mayor of Chicago. No, not that guy.
I'm about to mess that one up.
Jacare's getting up there, you know.
I mean, yeah, like
old.
that. That's
Did he get
definitely a big
knocked
part.
out?
No, it was a decision.
Oh, decision. Okay.
But yeah, just like a bunch of stuff going on. Friday we had the BJJ Fanatics Black Belt Invitational that they did. Gordon Ryan was supposed to be in it, ended up just being commentary because I guess he got an injury. Kyle Bohm took it. He won the brown belt one, got promoted, just won the black belt one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kyle Bohm.
Very nice.
From 10th Planet. So there was that on Friday. Locally, we just had in Milwaukee, we had a checkmat submission only event was going on. 4 billion promotions apparently here in the city of Chicago.
Right.
Wait,
Yeah.
all here?
Huh?
Were they here?
For checkmat or?
Yeah.
No, they were just up in Milwaukee. Not out of
Oh.
Milwaukee, in the city of Milwaukee.
okay,
Yeah.
in the
Sorry,
vicinity.
I said that poorly and also probably gestured in the general direction of the
did
city.
do
Yeah.
Not quite that
It's
way.
right there down the
Yeah,
street,
right-
next to
right-
Portillo's.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's Milwaukee. It's there's suburbs that are further away from where we are than
Very
Milwaukee.
true. Very true.
Do you compete ever?
Yeah. I compete. I try to when I can.
Yeah.
You've had Quentin Park,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Paul Doe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran that division for we called it like the little Asian division because this is like just us three on the podium like for a few opens and stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Paul Doe, how are you guys the same weight?
Well,
Oh,
back in the
Paul.
day,
Oh, back in the
heavy
day.
Paul,
Heavy Paul.
heavy Paul.
Not new.
Let's
and
not mince
improved.
words. Fat Paul.
He
Not
went
new
down
and
like
improved.
3 divisions. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what did you do?
He's just like, I stopped eating all the donuts and I
Right.
started
Yeah.
doing more jujitsu.
Right.
Yeah, he's down there now. I'm like, holy
Yeah, because
crap.
I mean, he's my weight now.
That's
He's
insane.
probably not. He's probably heavier than I am, but he's in my weight division.
Right. Yeah, you guys compete in the same division regularly, right? Now.
No, he's still up one, but we fought at 145. But I was 137 when I weighed in.
Yeah, that was a 168 weight division in gi. He
Yeah.
was up there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Phew.
I mean, that's kind of heavy for me also, but yeah, we used to scrap it out at lightweight. But those are great guys, though.
Yeah. Yeah. They're doing. Did Quentin have an injury recently?
I'm not sure.
Did someone get injured?
Not
I think he's just getting old.
Is that what it is?
Age is the best injury.
Sorry, Quentin. I'm older than you. I can say that.
Not that I'm aware of. Hopefully, I didn't miss something,
but you know, I'm not really on social media, so everything I hear,
is like 9th hand.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
I
someone said
heard.
something.
Yeah, Zito regularly plays the game of telephone in real life. So.
Yeah, pretty much. It's whatever Paul tells me or you tell me or someone says something and I interpret it like, oh, okay. Someone asked me if I was watching the impeachment hearings. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. What impeachment hearings?
Why would anyone want to watch
That's not a
that?
social media thing at that point, though. Like, that's
You know
just
what?
news.
I just don't get involved, man. I don't give a shit about anything that has nothing to do with jiu-jitsu or computers or snowboarding.
Or watches.
Yeah. I just like, I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine watching impeachment hearings. What the point of that is.
Didn't you just come off an injury or something?
No, I've been great. I mean, the last time I got injured was a fight against Paul Doe.
Oh, yeah? That
Yeah.
one?
But other than that,
The dough hold?
no, the
Did you get caught in the dough hold?
That's not what messed me up.
I mean, it did mess him up.
It did mess me up for sure. I was on crutches for a week, but that wasn't the long last. Is in somewhere in that match, I popped like a rib. I didn't know it because I was not really doing jiu-jitsu, and then when I went back to jiu-jitsu, I freaking injured that, and that took me out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those. They're
It's the
not
worst.
Yeah, I hate
It's
those.
fucking.
And it's just the hardest one to work around. I mean,
Yeah.
anything in the core is difficult to work around. Like
exactly.
neck injury is pretty rough to work around too.
Right.
But yeah, like ugh.
Yeah.
Any twisting, any bending,
Yeah, it's other
any
things.
inverting.
Right. Yeah, my fingers.
Arthritis. Just old.
Just what it is. Just know that everything's gonna hurt. It's okay. Whatever.
You could do less gis, you know. You could do less gi, and then your fingers would hurt less.
You know, recently I've been, I do still no gi once a week, but I just haven't been feeling no gi recently. I have not been in it.
Oh yeah, if your fingers get abused enough, you won't feel jack shit anyhow.
You don't
No,
just
I
wear
just-
your
constant
cool
pain.
gis either, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm just wearing
We
it.
have cool no gi gear as well.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Look at the way he just blows me off. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
It's just not as I'm just not into no gi. I'm just not feeling it right now. I'm really concentrating on
It's probably
gi a
because you're
lot.
doing it once a week.
Maybe. But now that I can do a lot more stuff, maybe I'm going to appreciate it more. Now I can
Well, you're a brown
actually-
belt now, so
Exactly.
you got new moves.
Got new
You
moves.
got new powers.
Go back to the bank and be like
Exactly the same damn moves I taught you when you were a blue
show me
belt.
exactly with a white belt. I'm
Well,
a blue
okay, right,
then.
right.
So now I got to go back to the bank of Javi, what he taught me, and be like, oh yes, I can use all this now.
You got some good leg lockers in the gym too. I mean, like, there's plenty of guys at Mineco's that have good toe holds or good knee bars. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've definitely been hit with a good toe hold from there before. So you got access.
Yeah, but I want to get into like calf slicers and like.
Can we do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This new world, I don't know.
Dude, bicep slicers, right?
Yeah.
It's all open. it's all there.
I mean, not literally, but basically everything except for like heel hooks and twisters.
But you'll always be a jerk for doing wrist locks.
Yeah, right. What's up with
don't
that?
get it.
That's white belts can do wrist locks,
Yes.
but no one ever does it. But I'm wrist locking the fuck out of people now.
Yeah.
Wait, because you're a brown belt, you're like, now I have
No,
the right?
I just feel like now I can do it. I feel
entitled
like
now.
I feel
I
like
earned
since
it.
I can do it all, I'm gonna do it all. So beware.
Okay, I'll watch my wrists.
White belts beware.
But I have to since anytime I roll with someone who's not a brown belt, I have to let them know that I'm going to be doing this stuff to them.
Well, that depends on how your gym works.
Yeah,
So how
I
does
gotta
Mineko handle that?
I don't think he allows us to do that to
'Cause-
white belts.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Can you
Like,
imagine? You can't leave on a white belt. I don't know.
so some of this has always been like a point of real confusion for me. So I always make sure I ask when I go to a gym. I'm like, hey, how does it work around here? Does the lower belt get to play around with the higher belt's tools, or the higher belt got to reduce his game to the lower belt?
Right.
Yeah, and most guys tell me they're like, hey, don't be knee barring my white belts.
Right.
I'm like, well, how are they going to learn, sir? But yeah, some places I've been to, they're like, no. We want them to get the experience of it. So you're the experienced guy. They get to do it with you, as that's how we introduce it to them.
You do it to them.
Well,
They
yeah,
don't do it
like
to you.
they're not necessarily trying to knee bar me. They don't know how to knee bar, but I'm
Right,
allowed
exactly.
to knee bar them.
Javi is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I knee bar everyone. I mean, equal opportunity
That's
knee bar.
I feel that's a good way of doing it because I know the control. I know what's going on. If they don't tap, I know I'm not going to try to tap them.
Right.
I know I'm gonna go to the position and see how they feel, and I know I'm gonna hold that position for a count, and then it's like, all right, they're not gonna tap. I'll move on.
Right.
And then the flip side is they, as the white belt, try to do it on one of their friends.
Right.
And fuck up their leg.
Exactly.
Oops. I learned it from this guy from Chicago.
He did it to me. I thought it was the same
Right.
position. I don't know.
I saw it on YouTube. I just tell all my guys to say that. I'm like, don't tell them I showed you that. Just say you learned it on YouTube.
Exactly.
That'll really make Coach happy.
Oh man, I think I was rolling in no-gi actually. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna try an Eminari roll, and I'm like, oh, which?
I don't
way?
remember how to do this.
Fuck, man, I gotta like think about it before I just go right to it. I'm like, damn it, I'm losing it.
I mean, that's like anything that you don't practice
know.
regularly. You're gonna
know.
eventually lose it.
I tried that on one of my training partners, and I did it super slow, and he just sprawled on my face.
Yeah,
we have a nice video of it. I don't know if it'll be shown, but it was hilarious.
Yeah. I definitely.
Gi? Or was it no-gi?
It was no-gi. I don't know. It was like after hours, so we were
Has
just
anyone ever
kinda
done Eminari in the gi? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, I've
totally
done
could.
it in the gi.
you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's risky because the way your leg ends up, it potentially a reap. So.
yeah.
It depends on what your finish position is. But like you can also punch your leg through to go Imanari to 50-50. So
Yes.
yeah, so that would be totally legal if you can pull it off.
Right. I mean, the guy would have to be standing there for a while.
I mean, not necessarily. The added grip of the gi actually
Yeah, you're
lets
right,
you
right.
control
Lets
them
you
and follow
control.
around
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
easier.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but again, like it's just like anything else. You gotta be practiced at it. Mm-hmm. You might actually want to pull that one from like a seated position if you don't have good setups from the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want to get sprawled on the face.
Yeah, especially since a knee's probably going to go into your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Javi, how soon are you getting your gym together? Anytime soon?
The hypothetical gym.
Yes.
Sometime in the new year. One of the New Years.
Oh, is this happening?
I gotta get some private time in with Javi, man. I gotta get some.
I mean, you have greater access to me than just about anyone in the city. You have no excuse.
You would think.
Yeah.
I gotta fit some time in, man. I need some.
Yeah,
some
you could always just
refreshers.
be like, "Hey, could you show up a half hour early
right.
before the podcast?"
I think we're gonna have
That'd
to
be
start
the easiest
doing
thing
that.
ever.
Where are you thinking about
schedule
having
it.
this gym?
That's really the big question. That's
Okay.
what's slowing the process down the most is finding the kind of ideal spot. Not that I like. There's no place in the city where I'm just like, you know what? There's no jiu-jitsu within 30 miles of here.
Yeah,
that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
But I also don't want to be like moving into somebody's established territory where they think that I'm like trying to move in on their turf. Chicago's weird like that.
I think that's going to happen no matter what.
It's gonna
Yeah, but-
happen. Yeah, you're not.
You're
gonna-
25 miles. You're too close.
Right.
Right,
no
well-
matter what. No matter what. You're
Yeah,
gonna do.
I mean, as the scene grows, that radius is going to shrink and shrink. Whereas before it was like, oh, the nearest jiu-jitsu gym is a half hour away. It's like, the nearest jiu-jitsu gym is on the other side of town.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly where we're going to put it. We've seen a couple of places that appeal. Some of which, like that one you suggested,
It's now available. By the way,
at the time the owner had zero interest in it. So
now it's available.
Oh, it's got a sign on it and everything?
Yep.
Oh, we'll look into that again. We'll see what he says.
That's
But,
cool, though, man. That's awesome. Living
so
the dream.
That's the part. I've been coaching a long time now. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to get confident that I'm reasonably okay at it. But I've been wanting to have my own gym for pretty much like the entirety of my career.
I'm kind of seeing that as a future for me too. I mean, I still got some time, and I would love to do it. I love to teach. I just don't get to do it as much.
I was talking last night with the guys about doing. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a jiu-jitsu school like a traditional jiu-jitsu school. I would like to do.
I mean, I'm going to have a very non-traditional approach. Yeah.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I like the style of like, I want all my friends and I want all like really high-end training partners. So
you want zero white belts. That's what I'm hearing. White belts, you're not people yet. You're not welcome at Zito's future gym.
sort of like that.
You weren't supposed to admit to that. I was teasing you.
I'm completely okay with that. But more, because I just feel that what I want, because, I'm not young. I'm 44 years old, and I want want a certain style of training. And so I feel like, to keep elevating, I want that higher elevation. I want to create an environment kind of like Studio 540, where, it's,
gotcha.
where it's like,
I mean, they have white belts there.
They do, but I want to be a little more exclusive. So I want my friends there.
You don't want
to
to have a gym. You want to have a club. Sort of
a
sounds like
sort of a club, but I don't want to call it that. You know what I mean?
Well, you call it what you want. I'm just saying.
You want. But yeah,
Chicago Jiu-Jitsu Club.
There you go. Yeah, right. So more of that style. Like just my friends are all together. We're all doing this. We're all going to pitch in, and this is where we're all going to train.
I'm sure you're thinking
our thing.
Bigger than this, but like I have friends that have that setup where it's like their garage or whatever is their personal training facility, and the only people that are ever there are the guys that they invite over, and at least one guy like. Nobody is in that room under brown belt level. Like it's only high level guys that he trains with, and because it's in his house, like he's not paying some excessive fee for rental. The shower is there.
Right.
So yeah, like you can definitely do stuff like that without having to own a school per se.
I mean, I think also business side. So I also would like to have enough space to bring in some high level like seminars for people and stuff like that.
And those
kind
would be
of
open to
purposeful and everything.
Public. Yeah.
Right.
So some kind of it's gonna be a community that that I'm involved in, and also still make a little bit of a business out of it, but be a little different than just like, okay, this is my new school, all the kids, that's not what I'm looking for.
Well, because when you do that, it becomes a full-time job, right? You got to worry about marketing. You got to worry about rent, overhead. What if you can't teach? You got to get someone else to do it.
That's actually, I think, one of the biggest things when you start off is, especially if unless you like have a buddy who comes over to your space or whatnot, like when you're starting off, it's like, okay, all I've got is white belts, when I'm not around, who's gonna handle this? Like the best of the worst,
Sure.
It's very true.
In fact, when Dennis went out of town, because he fairly recently, what has it been, like 2 years now, started up his gym. So at the beginning there, he's got white and blue belts, and so when he went out of town and went to Greece, like I agreed to go over and help out some of the nights and teach him whatnot. And like when I did that, I realized, oh, this is my future at some point. Like at some point I'm going to have to do the exact same thing where it's like I'm off at a competition or a vacation or whatever, and I got to find some friend or somebody in my affiliation or whatever who can come in from outside and fill in for me. So yeah, that was something that like, I guess I knew that, but I had never really thought about it before.
And me, since I've been teaching a lot at Mineco's, I've really thought about, what I want for my future, and I still want to be obviously involved in jiu-jitsu, and I do like the idea of opening up a school or teaching, but I don't know if I can do the whole kids and that whole process. It's a
lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I'm not afraid of work, but it's just that time thing. It's a time thing. Like it's it. Snowboarding trips. I don't know.
Yeah, when you commit to something like that, it's it consumes you. You know what I mean?
For sure. But I mean, like for me, this is already my life. I mean, I don't
100%.
I don't really do much else outside of grappling.
I agree.
So this is your 9 to 5 kind of a deal? Like this your occupation?
Well, yes, I guess technically it is my 9 to 5, but I work nights.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I have a full-time job that I do that just is out of the way of my training time, and then I train 2 days a week or 2 times a day, 7 days a week. So
you hear that, babe?
Yeah. She's like, yes, he's clearly a crazy person. So yeah, like that's my normal schedule. Very used to it. It wouldn't be any significant change. I mean, obviously it'd be a change, but it's like there wouldn't be a massive change in my schedule in terms
less driving.
Less driving, yes. And it's like I get there in the morning and I stay there until the evening. But so owning my own place isn't necessarily an increase in the number of hours inherently for what I'm already doing.
Right.
And another thing is like when you're looking to like make money and stay afloat, like obviously a kids program is a very good way to do that. Like that's very much like where the money's at. but not everyone runs a kids program.
No, not
you know,
really.
several of the schools that I train at, several of the gyms that I've been at don't have a kids program at all.
I will say it looks extremely hard. I mean, I've teach the kids class before, and it's
I do too, yeah.
And then you have to deal with the parents and all of that.
That is oftentimes the worst part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's tough. It's tough. The kids program is tough, but the kids program does bring in a lot of revenue.
Right, but all I'm saying is like you can have a successful school without needing a kids program, but for sure in terms of money making, that's
Right.
a lot of money.
It's a lot of
And
lot of
there's something hugely gratifying. Like I can't even explain to anyone who hasn't experienced it about like seeing a kid grow up in the art like right in front of you. Like it's also really depressing when they then move away for college and stop training. But we'll get to that some other time on a sadder version of the podcast.
I see what you're saying, though. We have a couple of kids that started from the beginning, and just to see them now, I love watching them roll. It's like they do what we do, but just way better.
Right,
You know,
'cause-
they're so much younger, so much more flexible.
It's practically in their DNA.
Exactly. It's amazing watching these little kids sometimes.
Yeah, no, I mean, they already exist, obviously, but like we're gonna see a massive uptick in the number of like phenom kids.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of names out there right now. Some of them we don't know yet, but a lot of names out there right now that are going to be like the superstars in like 5 years.
Nicky Ryan.
Nicky Ryan's right there.
That kid is
You know,
insane.
the Ty and Cade
Oh, yeah.
Rottulo, the Tackett brothers.
Yeah.
You know, like
For sure.
all these. And like I said, there's going to be lesser known names that in just a couple of years are going to be right there. They're going to be the big names. So
I'm excited. There's going to be some cool jiu-jitsu in the future.
yeah.
It's just getting jujitsu and in the more of a mainstream is going to be the biggest thing, the biggest hurdle. I think. I just think that starting out in like the grammar schools, like how that's not. There's got to be a school out there that's doing it, that's introducing some type of
Florida.
jujitsu in Florida.
I don't know if it's grammar school, but it's in the school.
gotta- I mean,
They're
I
working
just-
on it.
Do they really?
Ricardo Laborio has some program that he's talked about it on the Grappling Central podcast, where it's like they're starting like a grassroots school program. I don't remember all the details of it, but yeah, like people are working on this.
That's super cool.
yeah.
It should be. I mean, that's the age. At least someone should teach them some sort of like self-defense, discipline.
I think that's
you
the
know.
hard sell though for a lot of people is, you know, like they like I could 100% go to a school and teach them like, you know, forward rolls and shrimps and stuff like that. And no parent's going to say a damn thing. But as soon as I teach, you know, little Johnny a rear naked choke or an arm bar, you know, now people are worried, you know,
Yeah.
like he came home and he arm barred his sister, you know, or, you know, like that's the thing.
It's that or WWE, and the kid jumps off from the mattress. And
Right. They don't want to teach them that in schools either, you know,
True.
Like
Very true.
Some schools lose wrestling as programs. Like when our grandfathers were in school, like they taught boxing. You know, that was like a normal thing that you would do. Maybe not at the school, but like it was common to have kids go down to like the local gym, the local YMCA, whatever it may be, the local athletic club, and learn like boxing as a normal thing.
Well,
But that's never
I mean,
truly penetrated.
What do we say is the single best technique or the most important movement in jiu-jitsu is a snake or a shrimp? That movement there alone is so universal. Like you have to have that down.
Sure.
I mean, that's very important. That movement there, snake out, shrimp out, whatever you want to call it. What do you call it? Do you call it shrimp or snake?
I mean, most of the places I train, I call it shrimp. Yeah.
Shrimp, right?
Hip escape.
Hip escape.
Yeah. Hip
right.
escape.
Yeah. So that movement there, but teaching. Okay, so if we could just brainstorm here.
Okay, we're
If you could-
spitballing ideas here.
if we could just come, so let's just go to 10th Planet. 10th
Okay,
Planet
sure.
does something that some people agree with, some people don't. I don't. I ride the fence on this one. You know, sometimes like, oh, that's really cool because I teach and I'm like, man, I wish they could know this path already. You know, and the way 10th Planet does it, they create these warm-ups,
warm-ups,
right?
yeah.
And not every 10th Planet school does the warm-ups.
And because there's multiple versions of them at this point, not everyone has the most up-to-date versions as well.
Right. So, but the warm-ups get your body moving in jiu-jitsu forms, I guess, right? They're a form of jiu-jitsu. You learn these motions and these movements, which can be applied to jiu-jitsu moves. Mm-hmm. I like that idea.
Sure.
I like that idea. That's like kata, exactly.
Yeah, that's what the intention of kata is. It's that it's a teaching tool that allows you to teach a bunch of students a bunch of movements, and even if they don't know what they are, once you teach them the application, now they've already got the body mechanics of the movements.
Exactly.
Ideally, they know what they're doing while they're doing it, but even if they don't, they at least get the mechanics down.
Right. So teaching at a younger age those mechanics of how to fall, how to shrimp, how to, all these little movements here, maybe they don't know how to apply it yet, to an arm bar or to,
But they get the basic principles.
They're getting the basic principles. And then if they go to high school and now you can apply different types of, now we're in a different grade or a different situation where now they're going to utilize some of that stuff they've learned that they didn't really know what they were learning, or maybe they did outside of the school. And then they can apply that to there. And I just think that outlet for kids at a younger age is important, and that movement is important. I really, what I do, how I move now, I think I move better now than I did when I was younger, just because of how I move in jiu-jitsu. Like when I fall, I don't hurt myself. If in snowboarding, I'm.
We'll test that in a minute, folks.
But
he's break falling while he's down the mountain.
But I like just in snowboarding. Like since I started snowboarding, when I take a spill, I literally can just roll right back up, and I'm back on my board. Or I'm
gonna have to try that.
I think things would be just a little bit easier for me since I've been doing jiu-jitsu.
Right. No, it makes sense.
And I don't know if it's just because I'm becoming more athletic or what, but I just seem to just move better. Like I just feel like
a lot of
jiu-jitsu
jiu-jitsu is like muscle memory, right? So when your body comes familiar with learning how to fall or protecting themselves, it just happens naturally.
Right.
And that's what I think with these kids. Like you just keep teaching them these triangles in the air, these shrimps, these whatevers. And then they do it and they pull it off. It's amazing.
Well, that brings me to like the bigger picture. So the bigger picture for me is, when we all get older, and no one's gonna ever fight this or gonna get past this.
Speak for yourself.
We're all gonna get old. We're all gonna be, in our 80s and our 90s. God bless. But by us instilling this in a younger age, and then as we get older, and I've got elderly grandparents that, have fallen, have hurt hips and stuff like that because they never knew, what could be. They never knew that stuff.
And they didn't stay active in there.
They didn't stay active. They didn't know how to stay active. They don't eat right, because there wasn't like the nutrition that we have now and what to eat. And, what some of these homes give elderly people is kind of like, you're just going to eat this. There's no nutrition in it. Yeah. It's just like, you're feeding this, you're feeding it. And it's sad. It's sad to see, when I visit my grandparents and I'm like bringing them like great food to eat and I'm seeing what they're eating. I'm like, fuck, I wouldn't want to eat that, it's horrible, and it's just a little, I just hope that the younger generation, we can teach them how to do all this cool stuff. So when they're older, they have a little easier time, going on, and not have to like worry about them as much.
Yeah,
that's all. The bigger picture.
That becomes like a lifestyle, right?
Exactly.
Like you're not going to eat McDonald's anymore. We're going to have an acai bowl or something.
Exactly. You could just there's other things out there, and there's going to be temptations. There's going to be sports figures selling you Sprite and think that you're going to be sitting there drinking Sprite. While you're doing basketball. It's utterly ridiculous,
Right.
But
I get what you're saying, but like here's the thing. Like that was what judo was supposed to be. That was the vision of it. That it wasn't just like it wasn't a martial art. It wasn't a sport. It's a way of life. And like Kano really wanted to integrate it, and it is integrated in the schools in like Japan and whatnot. But wanted to integrate it as a method of teaching physical culture. Okay, that was the terms that they used back then, and it never works out, no, it's a big part of certain cultures, but it's always a side thing.
Would you say though that judo is a little bit more harder on the body.
No.
No?
Everyone wants me to say that.
I mean, see, I just see like taking falls all the time, which I mean, I have no problem at this age now, but like later on, I don't know if I could be doing flips at 70, maybe rolling around on my butt still. I
definitely know a lot of older guys that are still able to take falls very well. Okay.
I see.
But again, they never stopped doing it, and that's a big part of it. And obviously, if you're an expert level faller when you're in your 20s, if you keep on doing it, you'll continue to be an expert level faller. But there's so much more to judo than just taking big falls and whatnot. Right. But yes, it is pretty common that as you approach what we would call elderly, now you're going to do more groundwork anyhow. You're going to focus on your newas and things like that because that's what you're most able to do. You don't have to worry about taking a bad fall or anything. Right. So jiu-jitsu is very like that inherently, where the main focus is on the ground regardless. So yeah, you see guys that are in judo, still doing judo up in their 70s.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But again, like they're not necessarily going out there doing super hard rounds like when they were 20, and again, like the guys that, bad hip, bad back, whatever it may be, they play a lot more on the ground. That's actually pretty normal, especially in Japan. Like I've seen it, I've been told about it, but regardless, the whole idea of using martial art as a method of teaching physical culture, and there's some spiritual / moral lessons to be learned from it as well, obviously. Like that was that idea, and we had that idea with judo, and I think during a certain portion of
I think that when I look at jiu-jitsu and I really don't have nothing to say. I mean, nothing bad to say about judo. I don't know how judo. I've never taken a judo class, so but I know for jiu-jitsu, that humbling experience you get when someone who is smaller than you throws you around, and you're just like you have no answers. You're like I don't know how this. And at that young age, when kids are little assholes. Where they're just you got your bullies in the room, you got your cool kids, everyone thinks that they're trying to create their own identity, and sometimes the kids get hurt, and it's very impactful, and they're at an age where that maybe shouldn't happen, and it keeps happening. It's just always happening, and I feel like that introduction of that humbling experience that each kid can have, and
it'll actually get worse.
You think so?
Yeah,
the bullies will learn judo and jiu-jitsu.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
100% what happens.
Really?
Yeah. Why wouldn't
I think
it?
in some cases, but
sorry, I'm not saying like if you're talking about like having a school curriculum where all the kids do it, then you're gonna want to make the weak kid strong, but you're simultaneously making the strong kid stronger. That's the whole thing. Like
well, not every. See, a lot what I've known in jiu-jitsu, and maybe this is just my own. A lot of nerds take jiu-jitsu. I mean, I'm
right.
completely geek myself, but there's. I mean, when we get like. But those big wrestlers that come in, they get their asses kicked in our gym. I mean, there's like a small guy is whipping this guy's ass. I'm like, that's fucking pretty cool.
Well, I do believe like jiu-jitsu takes some type of intelligence, right? Like I think the majority of successful jiu-jitsu practitioners, most of them, are like Eddie Cummings, like he's probably like one of the biggest nerds,
right? But I also 100% know some total meathead world champions.
True.
Yeah, right.
I guess.
Okay, but stop, hold on. The reason the scrawny nerdy kid excels at jiu-jitsu above and beyond any intellectual advantage he might have in processing the technique is because he's interested in it and he sought it out. If you're talking about teaching it in schools, they have no choice.
Right.
Everyone's going to be learning the same stuff. You're actually literally taking away the superpower nature of it by teaching to everyone. Because once everyone knows it, it's less effective because everyone knows the counters as well.
Well, what if you made it like a program like wrestling where it's an option, right? It's an after-school program.
Right.
You actually have to get yourself out of the chair and take yourself there and say, I want to do this.
Again, you're going to turn... and not that it isn't already in large part. Like
Right.
many of us look at this as primarily a sport. Okay,
Right.
and that goes away as you get older sometimes, or it's different if you come up at a different gym. But you're at an IBJJF sport focused gym.
Right.
Not everyone's a competitor, but that is
Right.
still the overall theme of the gym.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying that like strength is the only thing that matters or anything like. I'm not trying to go there. But I'm saying if you're developing kids at a young age in this program, okay, and everyone's got equal access to it, okay, you're going to get to that point where it's like, oh well, you know, the guys that succeed and stay with it are the ones that are the super athletes because now they've got access to it earlier. Like there's no money in jiu-jitsu. And it's a niche sport, okay? That's the problem right now. If at any point in time, long way off, guys, but if at any point in time your potential career paths for being a super athlete were football, baseball, basketball, and jiu-jitsu, you're going to see things that you would never imagine currently. Because, like, when we get somebody who's sort of an outstanding athlete, he looks like a damn phenom, but he wouldn't make it in the NBA or the NFL. Not in a million years. Because if he couldn't make it there, that's probably where he'd end up by now. That's just the way things get selected out.
right.
Once we move from like a niche sport to like a major mainstream sport, I'm saying.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, like I'm the wrong guy to talk to about this kind of stuff because I don't like normal conventional sports. Okay. But yeah, like imagine somebody who's like a quarterback or running back in the NFL. Okay. This is just monstrous beast of a dude, you know, lightning fast reflexes, awesome power, endless tank for endurance, also knows jiu-jitsu. like black belt world beater level jiu-jitsu. It's going to be horrifying.
Like Nicky
I mean,
Rod.
it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing, and I do want to see it.
Right.
Okay, but that's what's going to really happen is you're going to get
Yeah, I don't
when
know,
it becomes
man. That's-
mainstream
that's
enough.
That's a tough individual. I mean,
No,
someone like
but
that
it'll become
so
common if it becomes truly
if it's
mainstream.
truly mainstream.
But
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily sure if I have a problem with that. I mean,
Well, I'm not
'cause-
saying I have a problem with it. I'm just saying, like, what your vision of it right now is like, oh, it's a beautiful thing. We're sharing the art with everyone. And what it's actually going to be is, oh, wow, this is an amazing thing that only like the cream of the crop can compete in anymore. Because everyone knows it now, and it's readily available everywhere, and it's a professional level event.
Well, I'll
Well,
be
that's
old
fine.
at that point, so I
Yeah.
don't give
Oh,
a shit.
Yeah, again, this is
No, but
all.
yeah, you'll
this is
have-
all hypothetical and very far.
You'll get the
Yeah.
Nicky Rods, you'll get the guys that are like 6 feet something and know how to do an arm bar and they'll be killing it. But yeah,
but then you get Lachlan Giles to come in and destroy them all anyway.
That too.
But that, honestly,
very true.
had to bring
cool
him up.
shit, cool shit like that.
So have you watched the King documentary on Flow Grappling?
I have not.
Okay, so it's not long,
Okay.
and it's like 50% Gordon Ryan just making smart ass remarks at ADCC. And spoiler alert, definitely check this out on Flow. So Lachlan heel hooks Kynan, and they got the cameras rolling with Gordon in the stadium. Like it's the camera like behind him and Sonny. Okay. And he starts laughing and he goes, "This is how amateur our fucking sport is. Could you imagine some lightweight guy doing that to a heavyweight wrestler in wrestling?" He's like, only in jiu-jitsu does nonsense like this happen.
wasn't that how he made a name for himself? I mean,
Being a lighter guy, beating up bigger guys?
well, he wasn't that
only
big.
slightly.
He wasn't that big before.
No. Gordon, when I met him, was like 170 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's jacked.
Yeah, about that. But no, but that's what he's saying though.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't really happen in wrestling. You know, like I wish it still happened in judo, but yeah, the lighter guys don't generally win the judo open tournaments in Japan and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the reason that happened was because there was a knowledge gap. Lachlan knew something that Kynan didn't, and like to a certain degree, that's because Lachlan had developed his own approach to it. But to a much larger degree, it's just because Kynan has a white belt level knowledge of that position.
Right.
You know, and that should not happen at the highest level at any position. But it can still happen because we're still very much a an amateur sport, and it's possible to have wild discrepancy in skills, and so long as you can navigate around that, you're okay.
So you're saying eventually within the sport that up and down would eventually
It's gonna
flatten
normalize,
out.
yeah. Well, we're already seeing that happen in some contexts because guys have so much more access to information. Like 10 years ago, you would never imagine that two guys would medal at ADCC from friggin' Australia. True. Okay, like what? Like a non-Brazilian medaling was pretty obscure, pretty rare.
What's interesting about jiu-jitsu, and I was just thinking when you said that, is that it comes up like professional and amateur, right? That whole professional amateur, like the NFL. What makes that guy a professional NFL quarterback, or whatever? He doesn't get a degree in college to become that. He gets drafted from like playing a sport in college.
He does effectively have a degree in football. We just don't give him the piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, he just plays football through college, and then he gets drafted to the NFL. Now he's a pro.
Right, and truth be told, that guy probably played football all the way up through his youth and everything.
Jiu-jitsu, there is no format other than you go to a school, you stay there for up to 5-10 years, and then you get awarded a black belt by another black belt who says you are now a black belt, and then you go and compete in the world of jiu-jitsu. But there's no like...
There's like a vetting.
There's no vetting. There's no, like sitting there saying, okay, well, now you are a professional as opposed to you're not a professional. I mean, and everyone says like, oh, there's black belts and then there's black belts and there's purple belts and there's always that distinction, and no one really knows what that really is. Like no one ever says, oh, well, he's just okay, black
I don't
belt.
know. Sometimes we say it, we just don't say it publicly.
Exactly. but it's just it'll never be that pro because they're never a stage to say, well, these are our pro athletes. I mean, ADCC sort of, but it's you can also win invitationals to go there and certain tournaments to get invited.
So let's kind of break this down a little bit. Most of the world championship level events in jiu-jitsu are utter nonsense. Mm-hmm. Okay, because they're not qualified by anything.
Right.
You know, like you have to have an IBJJF membership or something, but like you just show up.
And you
pay money, you show up.
Exactly.
right.
Every year.
So
Fiscal year.
I get it. It's a world championship, but the only tournaments that like, okay, maybe not only, but the tournaments that most of us talk about that have qualifiers are adult black belt worlds. Okay, where you have to earn enough points, and you can do some serious nonsense to get those points, might I add.
Yes.
But you have to earn the points to qualify to be in the adult black belt worlds. You don't have to earn anything or qualify to be in masters worlds. As far as I know, you still don't need to qualify in any way, shape, or form for Nogi worlds at black belt level. You just show up for either of those two tournaments. They're basically a more prestigious open, whereas the BJJ Black Belt Adult Worlds is a qualified tournament. So theoretically, only the best of the best should be able to compete in that. Okay? And then ADCC is similar in that you have to at least win a qualifier, or if you're an impressive enough name, they may send you an invite. But obviously, they're not going to send an invite to random Joe Schmo black belt from middle of nowhere America that no one's heard of.
Right.
Like, how many Instagram followers does that guy have? You know, that's just not going to happen. You could be the greatest guy ever hiding out in a cornfield in Iowa, and if no one's heard of you, you're not getting invited to ADCC. But if you go and win the qualifier, you can. So
does ADCC? How do they scout out? How do they do that? Do you know?
You have to actually go and qualify, I think, right?
Well, okay, so at its core, the how they develop their pool of athletes is the qualifiers. You go to whichever trial for your region, win the trial, you get your spot. Okay. Replacement athletes are oftentimes selected from runners-up. So, like, he took silver. Or they have a past history with ADCC, so they get an invite because they're like, this guy's performed well in the past. We want to give him another shot. Or like an impressive up and comer that maybe didn't qualify but put on a great show at an ADCC. Just ran.
It's all up in the air.
Yeah, well, they have some freedom with that.
Yeah.
So, but while that isn't like across the board, it's not qualifiers only, it's qualifiers and invite only. So that's a much more exclusive pool of athletes than what you get at most tournaments, whether they say world championship after their title or not. I mean, to be honest, and like, obviously there's levels of difference in here, but it's no harder for me to sign up for a local Naga than it is for me to sign up for Masters Worlds.
Right.
Okay. Almost the same price these days too. It's crazy.
Is it really? Naga's bumped it up?
Yeah, it's getting up
I don't
there.
think I've ever been to a Naga, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're okay with that.
Regardless, I mean,
It's totally
like,
fine.
you know, we used to kind of rag on the IBJJF because of how expensive it was, and now smaller, less prestigious tournaments are actually getting up there in price. So,
Yeah.
but regardless, the procedure is still the same. I didn't have to do anything. Okay. Whereas if I want to do a world championship in judo, I need to travel literally the world earning my points in major tournaments to ever hope to qualify. And I have to be, at minimum, the best in that category in my whole country.
Damn.
Okay?
And then when you win, you don't get any recognition.
Right, you
no
don't
one
get
knows who you
shit.
are.
Okay?
And who won last
But
year?
here's the thing. Wrestling works the same way.
Right.
Okay? Like, anyone who's going to the Olympics for wrestling, you know, they make the team. They've probably won a whole ton of shit to get there. They beat all the other guys at their weight in their country, and they've probably faced and many times beaten a bunch of the other top guys from around the world in things like the World Championships.
So it's probably good that the UFC actually allows their athletes to like compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments.
I mean, sure.
Just for the help to promote the sport. It probably helps the sport a lot.
I mean, right now, probably there's probably we're probably getting to a point where there's some mutual, because back in the day, you know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt, but they're like, judo's weird. Like you can't be a top tier IJF competitor and compete in any other combat sport. Yeah. It's bad for the sport, but that's what they've decided.
Didn't they like make Ronda Rousey like give up her ranking or something like that in judo or something like that?
Not that I'm aware of, but she was well out of the judo world when she decided to transition
was someone
to MMA.
like they couldn't compete in judo and jiu-jitsu at the same time.
Right.
They had to give up one of them.
There have been several athletes that have gotten in trouble for that. They like sambo, judo. Yeah. Like you can't. We just had a guy who got kicked off of his country's judo team officially because he went and won a sambo world championship.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. But regardless, sorry.
Did you hear about the NFL player who took the guy's helmet off and hit him with it? Did you hear about that?
No, I missed that news
He
story.
took off the quarterback's helmet and hit him
with it
during a game.
During a game, and got suspended like 12 games or something.
How many $1 million is that fine?
Well,
I don't know, but that's crazy.
his salary probably.
Yeah, that's pretty
so
rough.
crazy.
You're only allowed to do that if you play hockey.
Yeah, don't you know that?
I thought
Wrong
everyone
sport.
knew that.
That's so weird that it's totally fine in hockey to hit the guy with
Totally
a
fine
stick,
and expected.
crush him against the wall, and then football. It's like oh my god.
I don't
now.
follow hockey enough, but I feel like we're getting away from that. Guys have told me
Yeah,
that. Like,
exactly.
I
I hear like they don't even do that anymore. Like
They
At
don't?
all?
I thought
they
it's still pretty big in the sport.
I
no?
mean, I think they still fight, but I think when opportunities come, they shy away from it. They're like, no, I'm not doing that.
The last time I was at a hockey game was a Blackhawks game, and there was a fight on the ice, and that was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think it still happens.
It still
I mean,
happens.
they have guys on their team that are just enforcers.
Enforcers, yeah.
Right. That just go out there to kick ass.
Well, I think that's what I don't know what I was watching, something on ESPN or something, but they were saying like those enforcers are becoming less and less.
Oh, less.
Yeah. Now they're instead of like, drafting these enforcers, they're drafting like wingmen, guys that can score faster, skate faster. So
I mean, that's just an evolving meta of the game too,
Exactly.
probably. But
yeah, because hockey scores are normally low, right? They're not like football scores.
rapidly drifting out of my field of expertise here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just recalling from like when I was younger. I don't really pay attention.
guys,
too
mind
much.
if I go pee real quick?
Sure, man.
Absolutely. I showed you where it was, right?
Yeah.
You're our prisoner.
Yeah.
Lock the doors, Ito.
We can have his girlfriend hop on the mic.
Yeah, sure.
She has a lot to say.
She's had so much to say so far. But yeah, so anyhow, getting back to it, that's going to be that's going to be the changeover that's going to happen in terms of turning into like a true professional level / Olympic level sport.
Yeah,
A lot
right.
of things got to change.
There's so many things that have to, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't, maybe not in our lifetimes, but
I doubt it. I doubt it. That was actually, getting back to that was another thing that Gordon actually ends that whole documentary with, is his discussion about how he wants this to become like a true professional sport, and
isn't
it's
he
like,
bailing and going to MMA?
no.
I thought he was going to MMA.
So there's a possibility he will eventually transition to MMA. Let's be honest. What does the guy have left to accomplish?
It's true, man.
Yeah. I mean,
you're right.
He's got a couple of paths here. Okay. So people want to see him.
Don't say the gi.
People definitely want to see him compete in the gi, because it's not, don't you know that he's doing no gi? It's not real jiu-jitsu or something, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? He hasn't faced the best enough in the gi. Yeah. But regardless, so people definitely are going to ride him for the rest of his life that he didn't win world championships in the gi. Okay. Doesn't matter what he accomplishes. There's always going to be those guys that are like, what you did doesn't matter because
I mean,
it
he
wasn't
might as
in the
well
gi.
just throw the gi on, do some tournaments in the gi, and just, if he fails, he fails. I mean, I would love to see it and just do it. And
I think
I would
you're-
respect him more if he did it and lost.
I think
than him
you're
never do
forgiving
it.
like that. I don't think the overwhelming majority of people would be
Well,
forgiving
those
like that.
people got to go to hell.
Well, sure. Like, everyone hates a hater, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if he tries and fails,
That's awesome. It's great.
I'm so happy that you think that, but I don't think the majority of people, they'll be like, see, I told you he was no good.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I would hope that people are bigger than that. And
No, they're not.
I would hope.
Yeah, we've definitely seen this, like in this sport.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's one thing that people obviously want to see. I don't think is ever going to happen. He was considering it, gave it a try. Keenan kicked his ass way too much, and he
Didn't he
gave
put
up.
that company out of business, Hypnotic? Is that true? He put that business, he took so much money from that geek company, they went out of business.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, not enough return on investment there.
Yeah, zero return. It just folded.
So obviously
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, what not to do.
What not to do. There you go.
the collected wisdom of the Grappler Union
There
podcast is
you go.
also just things not to do. So people want to see him compete in the gi, whether it happens or not.
Right.
Okay. There's only a couple of names left in the entire sport that people outside of the gi want to see him fight. Like,
Super fights?
Yeah, and like Galvao,
Yes.
which he will face him at the next ADCC if Andre unretires. So if he doesn't, that's out of Gordon's hands. And then people are going to forever hold it over his head that Felipe has 2 up on him. So until they run that back, and as far as I've seen, like, people have tried to set that up and it has not succeeded so far. What else is left?
Right.
He's already won. Like, what are you going to do? Like, is he going to challenge Buchecha in terms of like the most medals in IBJJF? Gordon's going to try and become an 11-time world champion in the no-gi or something, like,
Right.
like what else is there for him to accomplish? So yeah, if he were to transition to MMA, it kind of makes sense just in terms of like a new field to try and conquer. But
He might shrink though.
well, there's no might.
A little bit.
A little lot, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to be able to sustain that style of performance.
His diet may need to
His
change.
diet's going to have to definitely change. A lot of things are going to have to change for him to go to MMA. So, well, that is unless he goes to Bellator or some other organization.
One FC.
I was just going to say that. I mean, Gary's, not saying Gary's on the sauce, but like Gary's over in Asia right now, and
Yeah.
yeah. Also, weight cut. I don't know what division he'd ultimately end up in with the size that he's at.
He'd have to go to 170.
Or whatever you can get away with.
185, right? 185, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, a lot of skills have to be developed. He's not going to just be like, oh well, I'm going to just jump right in there and hope my jiu-jitsu works suddenly. No. He's got access to some of the greatest coaches and competitors of MMA that the sport's ever known. So, like, if he's going to make that transition, it's going to be probably a relatively slow one. Watch, I go to his Instagram and he's announced his first MMA fight. So yeah,
Take that, Javi.
that's just going to be a weird spot for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good luck to Gordon Ryan.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he needs your luck.
Long live the king.
The dude just put out a friggin' like. I really want to, like, I kind of hope it succeeds just because I hope other guys do it. But he just put out an instructional, like, on Friday of him breaking down his own matches from ADCC and just teaching, like, the techniques that he used and what he was thinking and why what the other guy did or did not work. And it was like, it's a really cool concept.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, like Keenan and other guys occasionally do that, like on YouTube for like a match here or there. But yeah, like he breaks down his whole run at ADCC this year as a single.
Does he have like a whole marketing company behind him? Does he have like handlers and stuff like that? I wonder. You know what I mean? Like,
It's called Hypnotic.
I mean, he's got a.
Like a business agent and
yeah,
stuff like
he's got
that?
a business manager, but Gordon does handle a lot of stuff on his own in terms
who
of
thought
like
of that? That's pretty clever.
I'm
just wondering if he has like a team of people, like
I don't think he's got a team.
bringing him like ideas. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? Because he is very popular, you know.
Yeah.
And he's
No,
got
BJJ Fanatics, they have a long list of like different, videos and stuff. So maybe they use them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with that one. I mean,
clever, very good.
And like I said, I kind of hope that starts a trend. That could be very interesting. Like I would love to have somebody
Commentary.
like somebody like break down again. Like rights are an issue though. Like Gordon had to get the rights from Flow Grappling to have access to the ADCC footage to then put it on the video that he's selling as an instructional. So I don't know how that works on the back end either.
Yeah,
Like maybe
you're
they're
right.
getting a huge cut.
True.
But like, how cool would it be to have like Mikey Musumeci break down like everything he was doing in his Worlds run? And he's like, here's this grip, here's why I did it, here's how I countered that, this, that, and the other thing. I'd buy an instructional on that. Because the downside of conventional instructionals is a lot of times, I'm not ascribing any malice to this, mind you. A lot of times guys say how they do a technique, and then you watch it live, and you're like, but you're not doing it the way you showed it on the video. Like you're not doing it the same way because resistance, because you actually do it differently than you think. Like, what's the situation here?
True.
But when you're breaking down your live match footage, now it's like, oh, I did that here. It looks like this because this reason.
Right.
That makes sense because like when you're, just think about when you're doing jiu-jitsu yourself, like you're not, I don't honestly think about a lot of the moves that I'm doing. I'm not, I don't, a lot of it's based on feel and muscle memory. So
little flow with the go.
Yeah, and I my eye opens up and there's a lapel right there. Let me grab this. It would be cool to kind of hear that. Like what were they thinking in that moment?
Yeah,
Maybe even good for themselves to kind of like talk
play
about
it
it too.
back.
I always and I still remember the first time I saw somebody like do it like immediately after a tournament. But I always recommend my guys like go back, watch the footage, see what happened, see where you succeeded, see where you fail. What do we need to work on? Like I get really mad at my guys that I'm working with when they go to compete at a tournament. And I go, "Where's the footage?" And they're like, "We didn't record it." I'm like, "What the actual?" Yeah, like, are you kidding me? Like, that's your number one training resource. Like, you're losing gains here, man. But yeah, like being able to once the emotion and the adrenaline is gone, being able to break down your own matches is so valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes the camera picks up things that you didn't detect at all in the match. Like, oh, like I felt like I could get up right there and I couldn't, and I didn't know why. And then you see like the guy's got a grip on your pants that you didn't realize or something like that. So like all that stuff's super valuable, and it's awesome to be able to do it for yourself. But yeah, breaking it, like having a high level guy break down his own performance is a real interesting new niche there.
Yeah, I
check
agree.
that out.
I agree. I mean, because I teach the fundamentals, when I show the positions, I'm very detailed. So I'm make sure you have a grip here. And when I do it wrong, I have to call them out on it right away.
When you do it wrong, when they do
it wrong, I have to like reposition. I said, no, go back, redo it. When I roll with them, I'll use the move of the day. I'll put that in quotes, on them just to kind of show them this is actually what I'm teaching you is really works. And this is all position of how I'm going to break you down. And we do the situational sparring.
That's a lot harder to do outside of the fundamentals class, for the record.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes, not always. A lot of details that I do.
No, I meant using the move of the day on the.
Yeah, using the move of the day. Yeah, it's definitely hard
It's
to
like,
do.
all right, my
outside
fellow
that.
brown belts.
Yes, no.
I have demonstrated this move today, and now I'm going to hit you all with it. Ooh, this is gonna be a rough roll.
So definitely the move of the day. I definitely try to utilize that when I'm rolling with them, and then doing the situational sparring when they focus only on utilizing maybe a couple sweeps we've done that day or whatever it is, just so they can kind of see the resistance and see what they're doing wrong to not do it. Because I'm able to do it to you, you should be able to do it to whomever.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of situational sparring for that reason.
I'm pretty much every fundamentals class now, before we spar, we do a round or 2 rounds of situational just to kind of get them into it. And I'm huge. I think I'm going to see a huge improvement on all the fundamentals.
The worst thing is like having taught that to someone and then saying like, see, that doesn't work. They're like, let me show you.
Listen, the move works. You did it wrong.
Right. Exactly.
The move works, and you timed it wrong.
That can never be it. That's not it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know. I'm really enjoying teaching nowadays.
Yeah, super gratifying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Former guest on the show, Christian Woodmansey, posted this really, really cool picture. It was a flashback. He's holding up like this kid white belt, and the kid's like smiling at the camera. I think I want to say Hinger's in the background of the picture too, but Christian's like got this kid, and he was like just coming off the mats of a tournament, and like it was a post from 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was 2015, and he was like, like so excited for the kid's name. I don't remember what it was. Awesome performance, this, that, and the other thing. And he looked back and he was like, "This was the day that I knew my future was coaching." And I'm just like, yeah, I think we all have that day. Maybe it's not all as distinct as like a tournament or something like that, but yeah, like I get more out of seeing guys that I work with hit the moves that I taught them.
Oh, for sure.
Than I do when I do it myself.
It's like you just won first in the tournament or something.
Like, yeah. I mean, not going to name names or anything, but like within the last month, I've had 3 different people compete that straight up came up to me and was like, I hit this move that you taught me, or I used this counter that you taught me, or this was a sequence that we worked on in class together. I'm like, oh, my heart. Like it's just the greatest thing. It's like, thank you for doing my work for me and proving that the moves that I taught you do in fact work. Okay, now I have video evidence of it. Right. But yeah, like it's
super cool.
Yeah, that's probably. I can honestly say hearing like one of the lower belt guys say that something I showed them worked for them, whether it's in rolling or in a tournament, means more to me than all the gold medals in the world, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right. It's getting, man, you guys got somewhere to
4
be.
o'clock.
Time flew, huh?
Holy cow. I just looked up, I'm like, that's pretty late.
We went on a wild bunch of tangents today.
That's okay.
I blame the VR, AR conversation. I'll take full credit for it.
But I'm glad I know that now. I didn't realize that it was actually different. See, I learned something.
Yeah,
I'm
taking a half a star off your Yelp review now.
It's very educational, this podcast for me.
Zito makes great websites, awesome point of service, terrible on VR, AR differences.
Oh, man. So where can people buy
Wait, you know what?
your
Before I
cool
go,
shit?
Babe, can you get my bag? I want to give you guys a gi. I brought you guys some stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm
So,
so excited.
Try them out.
Paul Maloney is so jealous.
He's rubbing his hands over here. I wish we had video of that. He's so excited.
What size are we here?
A0?
A0.
Well,
speaking of Paul Maloney, he literally just texted me.
He's like, give me that swag.
He must have heard.
I'll let you guys fight over the colors, but I brought a white one and a black one. So.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Beautiful.
And then there's the other one. So, yeah, it's
Wow.
It's been an honor, man.
Dude, these are so dope.
I'll let you pick
Oh,
first.
you let me pick first?
Yeah, you're the geek. The geek.
I am.
Yeah. So the black one is just from my latest drop. This one's probably the favorite out of all of them.
Really?
And then this is kind of like
he's taking it now.
Not necessarily.
and the white one's like the basic gi. But both.
We're gonna film some technique in these.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There you go. All right, where can people find you?
CJJC Brand on Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, I think that's.
And that's cjjcbrand.com.
Yeah, also the website cjjcbrand.com.
And all this is available to purchase?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like sold out yet?
Certain sizes might be a little limited.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I do like really short releases, but you know.
Well, if it wasn't sold out before, it's about to be.
Dude, I'm excited, dude. Oh, this is so cool. I really appreciate you guys doing this. This is freaking awesome. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Fucking new geese.
Look at that.
It's the best.
I mean, I'm happy too, but you're glowing.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. And let's go do some technique. And it's 4:00, so I don't think John's here, so we should.
We're about to find out.
Yes. All right. Cool. All right. We'll see you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. For more information about Grappler Union Podcast, you could visit us at our website at grapplerunion.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Grappler Union. Please like us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Say what?
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to all that shit. You got to do another take, right?
Oh.